What's going on, you guys, and welcome to another week of the Shattered Throne, where we get to be on episode 13. And tonight's going to be a really fun, special adventure. I'm hoping to be very thematic for the time. So, as you're watching back onto the show, I want you guys to kind of guess what time of year we're recording this. But if you guys want, we'll go ahead and shout out to our adventurers. If you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves and your characters you're playing.
Hi, I'm Mojo, and I'm playing Shonen Gold, a human barbarian man.
I'm Fritos. I play Raven Falcor. He's a half elf druid.
I'm Textalion, and I am playing Tydox. He is the gnome artificer.
Get murdered.
Playing
Captain
Captain Hurt.
Hurt. Playing Captain Hurt as himself.
As myself, eating candy
And
with
I'm Zorpheus. And I'm playing old Jared.
And I get to be your wonderful dungeon master, Matty Ice, where we get to walk you through the land of Alexandria in our campaign called Shattered Throne. Last off, we had just finished. Basically, we're on our way up to Audril to kind of get some information, some resources, and so on our way on Squirt, our adventurers found some ships sailing as they were arriving towards them, and so they had an epic ship v ship battle as Squirt was diving in and out of the water to kind of help them destroy the ships. They saved the Foxy Llama, the Andriel's southwestern Armada ship, held by Captain Jacques and his crew, and so they had basically just begun talking, conversing on what they want to do, and Captain Jacques has given them at least safe passage into Audra, at least a good word from them. And so it's going to take a little bit of time before they're able to get all the way up to Audra. And so that's where we find our adventures today. It's a bright, fresh, new morning. How many of you guys would be above land at this, or above in the top part of the ship?
I
So,
have a question.
Ert, what's up?
How is remember the our elf lady friend?
Yeah,
How did
Elizabeth.
she fare last episode? I didn't remember any of that.
She is back to being somewhat normal. She has received pretty grave injuries that's going to require more of like a full-on doctor or cleric to really help them out, um, to really sustain most of her injuries. But she is stable. She's somewhat alive and talking as of last episode. Captain Jacques, remember, had kissed her arm and Raven's arm. And not Delta's arm, or not Darkmill. Um, so those who are above the ship, up into the open air, you guys start to notice for the first time, snow begins to fall as we enter into close to winter time for the first rotation of seasons. It's a pretty heavy. I don't know what time of day you would be up in the morning show, but you see as you get in there that throughout the night it's been snowing pretty heavily, and so now it's almost like you're in a blizzard. Very heavy. Michigan. Those up in Michigan definitely
No.
know this type of snowstorm.
Too
Very
soon.
heavy, freaking powder snow as it falls into the night. Show, I'm not sure how familiar you are with snow, but this is definitely something that I think would be more of a newer experience. I know for Tydox and for Ert, they would definitely be used to
Mm-hmm.
heavier snow and even worse snow, as you know, where they're from is year-round snow.
I don't think Captain Ert wouldn't be because you said it's been snowing all night, or
Yeah.
has it been like a pretty onset?
It's been a really like all night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right as you guys basically imagine like you go to bed and then you wake up to like 6 to 8 inches of snow on the ground. Like that's how it feels. Like you're like, oh wow, like you know, I know we're in Texas, so it's not really like doesn't really happen as often, but I've definitely been up north or you know other places that you like go to bed and it's just fine, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the heck? Where did all the snow come from? So that's the
I've heard
And
of
then-
the snow.
yeah, and, you know, definitely Florida. You have no idea.
It's a mythical creature down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I mean, if I because he says it's early in the morning.
yeah, it's early-ish in the morning. It's like
Early-ish
you
in the
know,
morning.
7, 8 a.m. The sun's been up for a little bit,
Yeah.
but yeah, like as you guys walk out into like the open air, you guys definitely have noticed that snow is now all over the boat itself.
After a rough battle, you know what I'm saying, from
Yeah.
last time, I think Captain Ert would have woken up a little bit later, but he, after realizing it would have been nice and cold and breezy, he probably would have licked his wounds and started walking up the stairs, embracing the everlasting cold. Nope.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was just making noise.
Okay.
Show probably was only downstairs for like a little bit. And I imagine that he although he's never seen snow before and so he's not used to this cold at all, because he hates being below deck so much. I imagine he's only went below deck for a couple hours, and he's probably now like up in the crow's nest, like kind of like looking around, being like, "What the heck is this?" and like feeling the coldness of the air to help like keep him like together. But he's just kind of like looking around.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Anybody else do anything while it's snowing?
You're
I would just go
Sure,
up to the what's the front of the stove, the burn? What's it called? The front, the ship.
The
The
bow.
front of
Bow,
the
that's
bow
it.
of the
I know I was
ship,
close.
yeah.
I know after or it would probably just be at the front of the bow of the ship and just kind of checking out, seeing if there's anything cool going on. Just cruising, and just catching
Yeah.
eyes.
I don't remember what I had the other chick's name was, so it's gonna be. But the first mate that I am blanking on her name, even though I wrote it yesterday. Let's see if I go back to my characters. Why have I done this?
I can't believe you done this.
I don't have her name. She's in my notes in a different area.
Wrong game. No wonder.
Oh no. I put her there. But anyway, she's there as well, the blonde. I think her name's Yara, but but you see her with you as well, Captain Ert. Very disorganized. I put Captain Yaquez's name in my notes. So something that happens quite a bit, just so you guys are aware. Sometimes I make up names on the spot.
Fair enough.
One of those cases where Yara is her name, and I remembered, and I should have just kept it there. You guys would have been none the wiser.
None the wiser.
Yara Stormcaller is her name.
She's siren. She goes.
No, you just see her like, you know, has her hood up from the, you know, the snow coming down, and she's like, "Gods, I hate the snow." You know, and as you come to the bow of the ship, she's just like, you know, 1 foot Captain Morganing over the ship, basically, as she like is peeking off into it. And the snow is coming down fairly hard at this point, and so Captain Jaquez, he comes out and he's like, the great nature of mother. They come in and they, ruin the way that we see. We're going to have to take land here a little bit. We're not going to be all the way at Andrea, but I know the good way from there.
Why is it
And he-
cold? Where are we in between the Riverlands and Heaven's Ascent?
Yeah.
That looks like a
So as
tropical
you-
area.
As you guys are going up to the, it does on the map, of course, but this map was made at like the beginning of the season. So like, because the way the moons work in this world, the seasons are pretty vibrant and they happen in a 3 rotation cycle. So it's like,
So it does
basically
fall.
how you have like spring, summer, fall, winter. You guys had been, the map was drawn in the fall time, summer to fall time, because it was, a month ago when you guys had created this. So like the mountaintops of Frost, for example, are fully snowed out like the entire time, the whole year round it snowed. So like some of these other areas, they still get all the weathers, but because of the way, again, the moon rotates and how it affects on the seasons,
Makes sense.
the seasons are a lot more vibrant, so you see them a lot often, and they go crazy. And you guys are going north, so as you're going north, it's getting colder, even though you're on water itself.
Okay. Picking up what you're putting down.
And so, Captain Jackson basically says you guys are going to have to make land soon. For those who are curious and that can, want to roll a perception, you can see certain things while in this area, but otherwise, I will
Maybe not.
begin to land. Yeah,
I'm only
maybe
going to
not.
use, if my passive perception, because Captain Merv was just kind of up there, just kind of perusing, so I'm just going to see if my passive perception picks up on anything. It's 11.
With an 11 passive perception, not much, other than it's very heavily snowing outside. It's like really coming down, especially in like the morning. The light is bright. But outside of that, that's pretty much would be like the only real thing that you'd see. Noises that you would hear. You, with an 11, actually, you definitely hear what sounds like hoofs stomping on something.
And I would say that sounds like hooves.
Hoofs, yeah, like a carriage or something like that, as it flies or goes near you. Basically, you're on the middle of water.
Well, then I would look to Yara, since I'm closest to Yara, and be like, do you hear that?
Hear
Sounds like
what?
hooves on the water.
Ah, the sea must have gotten to you. Hoofs on the water, you must be crazy.
And then I would, since I see Shonen is up top. Shonen, boy.
Up, and he has like his captain hat on, and then he also has like a spyglass monocle. And he like looks down at Ert, and he's like, "What do you want?" And he's living his full like captain fantasy up there in the.
That's nice.
I
Yeah.
had that. Do you see anything up there?
And then Shell just kind of like, he doesn't really know what he's doing, so he's just kind of like looking around with his.
He's got it.
spyglass
He's
on.
got it all backwards.
Right, No, I don't
Everything's
think
really
he would
fun.
have it like backwards, but he's just kind of like, like.
So I would give you go ahead and roll a perception with advantage with your spyglass. I was gonna cancel it out because do you really know how to use one? But
I got
Sweet.
a 11 total.
I was gonna say,
Give it
but
to-
I remember you don't have a great perception in
No,
general.
not that
so-
-2 perception, so
Give
Shell's
it to-
not.
Give a disadvantage for looking at the wrong
Unless
end.
it's right here, Joe can't tell it's there.
You don't see anything hoof related or anything of that nature. But with the spyglass, you do notice that off to your right, you notice that there is something that is what looks like is blocking the snow from falling.
I think like Show, he just like kind of turns and he's like trying to like actually focus this thing, and he's just like, well, Captain, I've never really seen snow before, but I reckon that's not supposed to fall like that over there. Seems kind of strange. And then he kind of points over to where the snow is funny.
And then at that point, I think Captain Ur would look over there, and then I don't know if he could tell or see what Show was talking about.
Go ahead and roll a perception.
Okay.
I mean, before you were just using your passive. This one now you're intently looking. So
Yeah. 13.
with a 13, you do notice off in the distance a tower. At least the top part of the tower. It definitely looks like a grand tower office as you're going off to your right. And notice the same thing, that the snow, what should be falling north or like down, north and south, as it approaches that tower, it like, imagine bounces off sideways like this. Like there's some sort of protective layer around it.
Do
And
I have a map?
really,
Or does
do you
anybody?
have?
Yeah. Do I have the map?
There
Does
is a
anybody have the
map in Captain Jacquese's, thing. But none of you guys had ever looked at it, especially because the last scene with Darknall and
Yeah.
him, you know.
Right.
Captain Jacquese has a full map of this whole place. You guys have like partial maps
Mhm.
due to the wizard's notebook that you guys found in the Broodmother's caves that had those circle points of the thing. So you don't have like a full-on map, but if you go and talk to Captain, it would be something that he would definitely have
Okay.
for navigations. He actually, I won't tell you, but he has a couple that you might even be able to look at.
Okay. Well, at that after, because I'd probably Show says there's something over there, and then I notice something. I would turn to Yara and ask where we're at, and then can she notice that? And so I guess I'll roleplay it. Yara, our Shonen noticed something, and I can see something out in the distance. Where are we currently?
You hear Show, that Captain Shonen to you!
It's just kind of side eye.
Yara's like, I would be careful, talking to your captain with so much disrespect. Our captain has done far worse. But yes, off to the right. You're probably thinking of Heaven's Ascent. That's where some of those brainiacs they go and keep most of their knowledge. But it's been long since abandoned. Rumors of a dragon has been there. Remember?
Dragon, Heaven's Ascent. Sounds familiar.
I think like Show has as stealthily as possible like climbed out of the crow's nest and is like trying to be behind Captain Urt, and he's just like kind of like pushes him like a bit, like to be like not like a slap on the back, but like meant to like throw him off balance. And he's just like, it's the Jade Wyvern. Remember, Elizabeth already told us about this. If you have a crush on her, you're gonna have to listen to what she says. Women do not like it when you ignore what they say. And you were making those googly eyes at her, and you've been talking about her so much since she's been injured. So, she told us about those dragons, so it's called the Jade Wyvern. And then Show kind of just like marches along.
And then Captain Urt just looks at Show.
Yara's like, googly eyes towards Show, and she's like, now that right there is a man.
Show's like, thank you.
The big old captain hat, the big old plume. Oversized.
Well, that's Jacques's hat. Is the big fucking like super pompous pompadour like flower in his hat. Yeah, Shell has just like a regular captain's hat now from the pirates that we're trying to take over. But yeah, Yara's just like the things I do there, man. That Shell like walks away. But yeah, Heaven's Ascent is off to the right, and you can't get a clear look at the full thing, but you do notice the two big things about it. One, that you can see like the top part of it, and that there is some sort of barrier around it that is even preventing the snow from falling into the thing. If you want, you can roll a history or an insight to see what you remember about Heaven's Ascent.
Well, actually, after hearing that, what Captain Ert would most likely do is go down to everyone else, to like Raven, Jared, and well, maybe not Jared. We don't like him, but Raven, and then Raven, and then
Tydox.
Tydox, and just go.
We don't like him. Don't even know the other guy's name. At least you remember Jared's name.
I got the sheet up. I was trying to find you. And then
Good
I
lord.
let him know what we have, and find that out. So are they? I'm gonna.
Yeah, they're all in.
I'm sleeping. I drank
Jared
too
is
much of
definitely still
that
sleeping.
really, really, really good wine.
Yeah.
Is Tydox awake?
Tydox is awake and tinkering. Yes.
Jared does not like the cold.
So then, you see
The
Captain
first
Ert with his
person you
nice
would see
claws.
Yeah, the first person you would for sure see is Jared. As you go down.
Look at Jared and walk.
Be cool.
Yeah, and then you would find Tydox and Raven kind of in a similar area. I mean, there's not really like there is bedrooms in this one versus the last like ship that you guys are like
It's not like the Black Pearl.
well, like Billy Bones, like his ship had the hammocks, in the whole front, and that was like their bed. This is like a fucking giant ship. This is like a very well off, like, there are full on spaces for like rooms and everything. They have like a whole mess hall and captain's quarters and all that stuff. So you go through like different rooms, you'd see different people on your way. If you're just like going through and opening up door after door, you would definitely see just like a bunch of sailors who are like sleeping and in their rooms and in different bunk beds and stuff. And then you'd eventually get to Raven's room. Raven, what does he find in your while you're sleeping and stuff?
So
What the flip?
I was gonna say, for plot convenience, we could. I'm on a cot next to where Tydox is finicking with stuff, and
Tinkering.
he has me hooked up to some sort of like medieval IV to to help my hangover
Pump
woes.
stomach blood, yeah.
They don't give you IVs. They give you cocaine back then. That's what they did. Just here's the cocaine.
Yeah, dude, so you guys are
Back in my
definitely in the
medieval day.
same.
Here's a cocaine. Is that what you just said?
One cocaine.
At
One
least make
cocaine.
it some coca leaves or something to chew on.
Here's a freaking brick. Just there you go.
So Tydox and Raven are in the same room,
Okay.
for sure.
But then I would definitely go to Tydox first, and noticing that Tydox is awake, and be like, "Hey, can you wake Raven up? We've got some
What did you?
some things we need to plan."
How did you tell Tydox that?
I probably would have been like, claw the door, looking up, and said Tydox, and just kind of like yell at him.
He's doing stuff. Did you yell?
Okay. At first, if we didn't get his attention, but Tydox,
Yeah, because
Tydox.
he's focused.
Tydox,
Yes. Ert.
wake up Raven.
Like a small
mean like-
explosion.
Yeah, I
happens.
know.
So, what actually happened? He was working with. There's this like little jug here that he's kind of got. There's like a light by it. That's important for something. And when you startled him, it wasn't an explosion, but he did just drop like 10 to 15 ball bearings, and it's just like.
And it's all over the place
It's
now.
just-
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And then you
What
start to
did you
hear
do?
them like slide back and forth as the ship is like.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's like phenomenal.
They're like the most inconvenient places for you to grab too. So.
Playing like pachinko with these bearings now, trying to grab them.
It's an acorn. Yeah, I can get Raven. Is there some danger, or what do we need?
Well, we've got a couple decisions we got. It looks like, I don't know yet. We can go talk to the captain, but I think we might be near Heaven's Ascent, and then
Oh.
we also might be able
And
to
the-
make it
and
to
the Wyvern?
Ontario. And the Wyvern.
All right,
As I say under my breath.
we'll be up shortly.
Everyone remembers that.
We'll be up
No
right
one
away.
remembers that.
So, I would wake up Raymond by first checking the fluids and making sure he's probably had enough. He's probably not quite done, but I mean, the captain said so. I pinch it off and give him a little smelling salts into there. You're like,
Present. I mean,
is that- Ert needs us topside. He says there's some decisions to be made.
oh,
Is the,
well, I'll go up with you, but I might not be doing a lot of the thinking.
It's some of us are just meant to be in the background and support.
That's what I do best. I fill glasses and let other people talk.
I just disperse drinks and listen to things. All right.
All right.
So I
well,
think with that, I would
let's
just
go then.
Tydox would probably give up on those ball
Tinkering.
bearings and just move the fuck.
Because now they're like all over the place. Like,
They're all over the place. Yeah.
They gone.
definitely-
On my
Yeah,
way
no.
out.
Jared is very annoyed.
Yeah.
Jared is getting very annoyed in his sleep. He's like trying not to wake up.
Yeah, Jared, you definitely
With the ball
hear
bearings.
all the things just
I know, just-
slamming up against your
Just like-
wall.
He just puts the pillow over his head.
On my way out, I grab
Stacy
one of
for
them
one.
off the floor and just start tossing it.
just start playing with it, yeah.
Toss it, yeah.
This is
Toss a
interesting.
bearing to your Witcher.
And just to be sure, no one goes and gets Jared.
No,
Was
I'll
he
get.
in the same
Anyone?
area?
He's in
Or-
the same area for sure. Yeah.
Then I'll probably just get Jared last. I probably looked at Jared, said, and then grabbed Tydox, and then went back to go get Jared.
What? What is it?
Jared, meet
What
me
is
up
it?
top. That's all I'm
It's so-
saying.
It's so cool up there, though.
That's on you. Meet me
I'll
up
be able-
top.
I'll be up in a second. I'll get up there in a second. Let me do my morning routine.
He starts doing some Pilates.
Recentering himself for the
He's
Lord.
like he'll be a yoga person.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that's like what show is like. He's like doing push-ups up deck, and then like all like the woman elves are like looking at him as he's like
Oh,
trying to keep
yeah.
warm.
Yeah. Tell, I also imagine Show is in like a tank top, like not even in like a full-on like real like armor. So like your muscles are bulging out, and like this is a ship like primarily women elves, just because like Captain Jacquez is a very sexual being, and so like all of the women in this ship, they're all staring at you. Like, you've noticed, Show, as you're like working out, that there's a large group of women that are just like, fake sweeping next to you, like trying to like clean above the snow that's like continually falling. Like there's a couple that are like pushing snow from like one pile to another pile, like doing a bunch of just like not, work at all, but they're all staring at you.
Picks up on zero clues. He's just like, wow, these people are really busy up here. This is what a real ship is like to run. They're just doing stuff. He does not get it.
One's fanning himself off.
Mhm.
This is in the,
Bunch of welves.
a bunch of welfs. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you gather everybody together, and there is. Where would you like to gather them? Where would there's
I
a
think the
couple
mess.
places.
Is there like a mess hall?
Yeah, there's like a mess hall where there's food, and you guys can definitely have breakfast at this point. You'd
Think
see
it's-
like one of the only male elves is here. He's like really grungy and kind of dirty looking, and he's just like looks like he hates his job. being like one of the only male elves here that actually works, he's just
There's
like,
too much estrogen.
yeah, he's just like, hey. And he's very very masculine. He's just like a big, bulky elf. What can I have for you?
Can we get some? Do you mind making us, getting all of us breakfast?
Oh, sure. All I gotta do is get your breakfast, and you see him stomp off to the side.
And then, and I'll probably gather everyone at the table, and then I'll lay down the map that I have.
Yeah, which is it's a small little notebook that you have.
Yeah.
From it.
And then so after laying that down, I'll we have the other one, right? The who has the other one? The one that we recovered from the Broodmother's cave.
It should be. I mean,
Do I
think
have
you
it, or I thought
yeah.
was it in the? Do I have it? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so I said Captain Jacquez has his own maps that you could have seen, but you just have that map. It's the one that you got from the Broodmother's caves, and then Darknell's been around, and so he would have known. But since he's not here, he's still recovering from his injuries from last time.
He's in the infirmary.
So you would pull out the notebook, and the notebook is centralized on the Broodmother's cave, where you guys had gotten the first thing from, and it had those 3 points that are circled in, one in the northeast, one in the, southeast, and then one in the northwest.
So then after Captain lays that on, at the table, he'd probably explain to the group. All right, guys. Thanks to Shonen's keen eye, we Captain Shonen's keen eye. It looks like we are approaching Heaven's Ascent on our way to Endario. So we have a couple options. We can either head up to Heaven's Ascent or continue our way to Endario. But we do have an injured person. I don't know if you guys want any feedback on what to put on there. And then, but it looks like based off this, there might be one of these artifacts maybe over here. I don't know if you guys are up and ready, or if you guys want to go straight to Endario, recover, and go back.
Shell's like, well, why didn't you wake her up, Captain? You're just so plumb worried about her. Why didn't you go talk to her? And then Shell is like, go.
And then I'd be like, anyone else?
I am more than happy to follow where the group thinks is best. I don't have a problem with going to Heaven's Ascent or Endario. But if we have to make landfall, is that what the captain said?
I didn't ask him yet.
Well, okay. I thought there were decisions to be made.
We are. We're making them together as a group, and we'll go from there.
Oh, as a group? Well, shouldn't we then involve, Darknell and maybe Elizabeth too? She might have some type of say.
Darknell again, because he's just kind of annoying last night, So Raven was already tying another one on, and I was like, well, maybe Darknell should tie another one on too. And so he's not gonna be waking up for a while. Let's just say that.
That actually does improve my mood quite a bit.
But Elizabeth, maybe we should talk to. It's, she knows things about things. She's the one who told us about that Jade Wyvern. You remember the Jade Wyvern, Captain?
Yeah, the Jade Wyvern. Yeah, that was a very integral part of our last conversation.
No, I mean, it wasn't our last conversation. She told us about that. Never mind. You know what? I'm not tired of helping you out.
At this point, yeah.
She told us all the dragons. Yeah, I don't know. Never mind. It's okay. Actually, what? I'll go get Elizabeth. I don't need you or anything. And then Show just walks away.
Show's like, fuck the middleman.
And then she's just like, wait, why am I getting Elizabeth? And then Show's just like, wait, I'm gonna go talk to the other captain. And then he's like, a little Captain Parlay. He's like,
walking
I'm gonna go parlay.
Do you see? you know, as you get to the captain's quarters, you see the captain is just like smooth talking Elizabeth like this whole time. Like she's there in his captain's quarters. She looks. Actually, if you want to roll an insight to care about it, but she, you know,
An
she,
instant.
yeah.
When did Show
I got
get
an
a-
8.
Hey, you definitely notice that she's annoyed.
No, okay.
He does not look happy talking to this captain. This captain is just laying down the groundworks, you know, just like, you know, out here, you know, just like he's been in his scene this whole time, you know, he's like flirting, you know, every girl comes to him very like easily, and this is like the first girl that's like, you know, classic Hallmark movie, like, you know, I'm not interested in this guy.
She's
know.
just not that into you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sex, were you gonna say something?
Yeah.
No, I was just messing with her.
When did Show become the captain? I thought you were captain, and Show is Show captain now?
I'm letting Show have a little bit of fun before we hit landfall.
Ah,
I mean, at this rate, it might be permanent.
It's just good.
Just
Just gonna
kinda-
growl.
Just kind of one up in you. I mean, she's smart, or he's smarter, better looking.
Oh.
That's two for.
I know. I really don't think I've actually been attacked by Show ever, so that's. I mean,
It's a good point. Better in battle.
Oh, so we have an immunity now, huh?
Well, let's see. Between me, Tydox, and we know Jared doesn't like him. I think we can make. That's 3 votes.
Gosh. Darn. There you go.
I'll take you all out with one swipe.
I bet you
Done it
will.
before, I'll do it again.
yeah, I got close the first time.
I'll do it again.
So I think Show, he just kind of walks up and like kind of just like does that like the knock and then like enter type of thing, not really waiting to
Yeah.
be called in. And he's just like, "Hello, us here. I'm here. I'm Captain Show, and I'm here to get Elizabeth."
Elizabeth looks so happy to see you, and she's like, you know, like trying to like get away from him, and you know, he's like, I'm not gonna say it's just very like weird, you know, he's like trying, like, you know, like, oh, you don't need to leave, like, you know, she's like, you know, I'm gonna get back to my friends, you know, like, and she's like, how you say, you know.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, like this. Have you ever seen like the Looney Tunes, like the skunk
In
and
the
like
pew.
Yeah.
yeah, Pepe the Pew. Like, he's very, very Pepe the Pew vibe, you know. As he's
I
like
know his
flirting.
type well. And
Yeah.
Shelly comes in and he's like, "Elizabeth, you got a lot of work to do. I know you just died and all, but man, you really started slacking off. I need you over here right now." And he's like, "Pardon, Captain. You know how it is when they just sometimes they just don't want to work. It's just these new crops of these young people." And then Show kind of grabs her.
Elizabeth, being like 300 years old,
Yeah.
is like looking at you as you're going by, like, you know, like, hey, thanks for the save, but also like, you know, I'm way older than you.
Show's like, "That don't matter."
She's talking about, and Captain Jack Crazy is like, yeah, he gets his hat and he leans back in his chair and he's like, women, you know, they're always, you know, all over the place. What can I do for you, Captain?
Really know the other pretend captain. If you see a tall dragonborn, he thinks he's a captain. He's not a captain. Anyways, he's trying to boss people around, so just ignore him. And maybe we might want to look at your map in a little bit. If we could please look at your map. But you know, I know that sometimes captains are weird about maps, so it's okay. If you don't want to show us
Well,
that.
I don't see why you can't look at the map. I'm not sure if you
Oh.
can read it, but
No, I can't read anything. Not a lick of anything.
Hell.
That's gonna have to go to somebody else. But thank you for acknowledging that.
I wasn't meaning to do you. I just meant in general. It's you know,
No,
only
no languages. No, not Common, not Elvish. Nothing. Mm-mm.
I don't even
good
know what
enough, I
picture is,
guess.
Mm.
It's it's not even in languages that I could even understand, and I'm very fluent in multiple languages. But that's good to know that you're not an affluent person.
Yeah, I kill him up the ropes. You know what I mean? Like some of us, we just gotta work our way to captain. You know, and
He, like,
it's a fine way to do it.
he's like, moves his sword out of the way. He like, curls his mustache, and he's like, "Ah, of course, you've gotten, gotten the way. I get you. To come back. It's actually connected to our table. And you see like a huge table that's got like 3 different types of maps on it. If you look over at it, like you definitely see that they're on this whole table itself. That it'd be impossible for him to like. You'd have to like come back in here to like see it. It's not like, hey, take these maps,
Shell's just like, well, we might be back in a minute. Just hold on one second. And then Shell's just like, if you want to talk to Elizabeth, you might want to talk to her about dragons. One time she told us about all these dragon things, so I think she knows a lot about that. And then Shell just leaves.
He's like, good. He's like, write that down.
Write that down.
Yeah, so you bring Elizabeth, and Elizabeth, leans to you, and she's like, by the gods, thank you. He just collected me from my chambers, and he wouldn't let me go.
Yeah, men are like that a lot. I've noticed. They're just like, can't take a hint. You know what it's like.
Well, yeah, of course. There's not really, there's a couple. I had a couple encounters with the orc bartender from the nesting grounds. He's a sweet man until she like looks down. It's like PTSD flashbacks. War Nam veteran is going through, and she's just like,
Till you guys.
like, yeah. He's like, until this, stops. He's like, those goddamn rabbits. Whoever brought those rabbits, I swear.
Oh, I don't know anything about rabbits. That's just a crazy story. I think you made that all up, Elizabeth. I don't know what you're talking about. It must have been a dream. And then she just ushers her in.
Let's kick on.
Crazy dream you had.
She like feels the scars on her body. She's like, they don't feel like dreams, but all right.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have gathered back together. Elizabeth is now there. Elizabeth, as she walks in, she does look at you and gives you like a faint smile.
Cap Merge, like, how you doing?
Oh, Captain. Oh, sorry. I just was told that Show's the captain now.
Yep, you can just call him. He has no title. Maybe one day I'll make him the first mate if he tries real hard.
It's good to see you. Sheepishly. Or she says sheepishly.
Sheepishly?
Yeah.
So,
Well, you wanted us all here, so here's everybody now.
did the captain
Jared.
say anything?
Jared, Jared,
Go ahead.
Jared has made this up way up by this point. Like he's finished like his 30
morning
minute
routine.
The entire time, he's like stretching.
He's like limber. He's like coming in.
We had to warm up, but it's so cold outside. He had to warm up.
I feel like that like Jared asked for like all of the amenities, so he has like a nice plush robe on and like some nice slippers, and like he just like got all the elvish things from the mask and umbrella.
Nice.
Yeah, they're definitely not on the ship, but he just has somehow found like
I know.
Mhm.
all sorts.
Everyone's in tattered rags,
Yeah.
and then he's just in this nice, fine, like silk
got, like, a
robe.
cup of
Nice.
Yeah.
A cup of coffee.
Oh, nice latte art.
Yeah. That fucking
Except
male
that's not even
bartender.
possible.
Yeah, he walks back over with the breakfast, and he sees that there's now 2 more people that he didn't account for, and he's like, like hands you down. Basically, he sees the 2 people, and he's like, that's a walk over, and expecting especially from the last, like parallel to the last boat that you guys were on. The slop, the food looked disgusting, but it tasted really good. This looks amazing. Like it's like the best looking food that like this chef is like knows exactly what he's doing. Very like elven leafy, like there's bread, there's like all sorts of like really delicious like meats, and very like he went all out. you know, for the 4 of you, and now he has to, you know, go back and get 2 more. But you know, it is enough for, you know, 6 people if you guys don't need everything. But yeah,
Seeing that he only made it, what I'd probably end up doing, I'm gonna be that guy. I'd say, here, Elizabeth, go ahead and eat. You're probably gonna need your strength. I'll wait. And
she's
then-
like, oh, well, the captain, Jacques, he already actually fed me quite a bit, actually, like too much in his quarters. He kept giving me apples and all sorts of different like pomegranates.
What?
I didn't even know.
Lots of
Sorry.
bananas.
And
Yeah, hand
pineapples.
feeding her.
I know, just hand
Yeah.
feeding.
I'm quite stuffed, actually. Please, I can't. I don't think I can eat any more.
Sounds good to me. Sorry.
It's like, all right.
All right, say less.
Thank God.
Yeah, like he gives her a bunch of like aphrodisiacs. Is the
That's what I was wondering.
yeah, like pomegranates, pineapples, like you know stuff like that.
Fertility stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta make them fertile. You know what I'm saying? Fertile Myrtle over here, just.
Ken Jacques is a good guy, but he's kind of a sleazebag.
And so I guess after gathering everyone, I would kind of just reiterate what we already talked about, and then since now Elizabeth is in the picture, I would just kind of include her, see how she's feeling, and see what she's up to, and then I would preface that we still probably need to get Captain Jacques on board to get us to land.
Well, land is certain, almost certain. You know, going through a snowstorm such as this would be nearly impossible. You know, I don't know much about sea travel, but I can definitely tell that it's certainly near impossible to go much further here. As far as going to Heaven's Ascent would go, sure it'd make things easier as far as travel wise, but I'd be hesitant to go there. Last I heard is, and again I've told you before that the Jade Wyvern, she is a nasty creature who is very territorial. So I would avoid that place at all costs unless there was a way to lure the dragon away.
How do you lure a dragon away? I kind of see that like almost rhetorically, but just
What are you
to
trying to
kind
say?
of what?
When
Say
Huh?
some slick.
Some say in the Andrea they would definitely know of a way, or would know somewhere. I'm sure there'd be someone there that would either know an easier passage through Heaven's Ascent or how to lure a dragon away.
I'm just kind of pondering right now. If anybody has anything to say. Yeah. Where's Squirt at?
Squirt has disappeared, but you have his whistle to like play just in case. But as far as you know, he left when you guys joined the boat. He got on the boat itself.
if we did want to head to Andriel first, I feel like it's still a good 6 days away, and this snowstorm would probably add time to that at the very least. That's if the captain doesn't, make landfall, because it is his ship.
Mm. Agree.
I mean, I would like to go to Andriel. There's a wealth of knowledge there. And also, some of the materials would be phenomenal to get through that. Some of the things that I can create with those.
It might be good to go there and see if we can find more info on Heaven's Ascent. Maybe how to steer that wyvern away.
You telling me you don't want to just go fight it?
We've had some close calls recently.
Could be pretty fun. Could be pretty demure.
Bane.
You certainly can go fight it. No, you certainly can do whatever you want.
We thought about it for the Crimson Woods, and I'm very glad we didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe we should use that same wisdom.
All right.
Especially with one of our party members, who that could be helpful, being passed out for 3 weeks.
He drank a lot.
Well, you got
It was-
freaking destroyed.
Yeah, it's like he was also talking some mad smack to
From the
Kevin
top rope.
Yeah.
All right. So from what it sounds like, our next step should probably reach landfall and then get to Ondario, get some
That does-
information. then
That
head
does
to
seem like the
Heaven's
most
Ascent.
practical.
Yeah, but when have we ever done practical?
Well,
Under
there's we have
your
a
constant leadership, sparse.
You are on controller!
And I guess we're on controller.
'Cause sure.
I mean, we're on a ship. We got a lot of supplies, a lot of good food, a lot of good booze. You know,
Yeah.
I trust whatever the captain says is the best decision for driving his own boat. If we land where he lands,
All right.
and
Sounds good.
yeah,
All right.
It was
so
a-
it sounds like
there's a lot of energy to turn into a turtle. So I don't know if I can
Yeah.
turn into anything that can help us against the dragon.
There's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
A lot of calories.
Gonna need a lot of French toast to get back into fighting
Say
shape.
A lot of CR ratings.
There's a lot. It's really hard for him to do that. Okay. Anybody who wants to watch, it's really hard. It's a challenge. We've heard your feedback.
We've heard you. We are listening.
All right. Sounds like we have our decision. We just have to see if the captain's on board.
What?
Wow.
What is the decision?
The decision is we'll get with the captain. It sounds like we're gonna make some landfall to Ondario, get information on the Jade Dragon, and then potentially make our way back to Heaven's Ascent.
It's the Jade Wyvern, Captain.
Jade Rabbit.
It's actually the Willow Wyvern, and I messed up and said the Jade Wyvern, so now I have to change it. But
Well, you can retcon that later.
it'll
You
be
can
the Jade
retcon it.
Wyvern now. But
As a
might
pun, we
know
get there and we're
it's-
like, what the fuck is that? Is there two of them?
my nose is not that, but that's fine.
Oh, it could. Oh, imagine. What if it's like a Hydra and just.
I do like
Oh,
the
yeah.
idea that we think it's the Jade Wyvern, and like Elizabeth
It's
just
just
gave us the
not.
wrong info.
Oh, listen, just, yeah,
It's just another
What does she
rabbit, dude.
know?
Just. It's a
no,
little.
it is
okay.
it's a very scary dragon. Don't worry.
And so at this point, I'd probably, well, unless you guys want anything, I can. Show and I can go talk to the captain, and you guys can enjoy breakfast. We'll go talk captain to captain and captain.
Show's just
then-
like Captain and first mate.
and see what our next plan is. If
I
you
mean,
guys
first
have
mate's
any-
not bad.
Can
Yeah.
somebody,
You hear that show? First mate's
maybe
not bad.
speak the language go with there, Raven?
Yeah, that might be helpful.
I mean, I, don't want to force
I
you to
think
do anything,
you know
but
after how last night went, I can schmooze him a bit too if we need to.
it seems like a great idea to me.
Still feeling good. He's like,
I haven't watched this
Hey,
end at all.
That's a flavor hand right there.
I love it. All right, so you guys head back into the captain's quarters. The captain immediately, he says, Captain, you're back. And with your first mate. It's good to see you. Oh, I didn't know it was a first mate thing. Yara. Yara comes in. He's at this point covered in snow. And she's like, Captain, like, what do you want us to do? Like, why do you want me to just sit out there, basically? She's just so annoyed. Like, why am I sitting out here in this snow? And so he ushers, the three of you guys in, and then Raven as well, or the four, you and his other one as well.
Yara.
So Yeah, Yara as well. So he ushers all you guys in. He has like a seat for you. What can I do for you?
Shell like takes off his captain's hat because he's polite. And he like holds it over his like heart, and he's just like, and then he points it at Ert, and he's like, "My first mate will explain to you what we are doing."
A good leader delegates. Good.
And
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
I'm like given Shonen a death stare this entire time. Like, I'm gonna miss you up, boy. Boy.
Boy.
Boy. And then I would basically just explain to him what kind of our plan was the entire time.
Well, fortunately for you, Yara has told me that the snowstorm has gotten pretty bad. That I am going to have to make land soon. We can't sail in this condition at all. We'd have to wait till the snowstorm passes, anyways. I could stop by Heaven's Ascent if you want, at least for a drop off if you want, or I can certainly sail. The closest I'll have to be is either, the boat words for left and right. I know Starboard and the other one.
I always
Port.
mix them up too.
Dock on the port.
Yeah, I don't know which way, but I could go either way. Is basically what he's saying.
If only we had someone here who knew.
Anything about ships?
Only there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
pirate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a captain, but I'm still pretty new to all these boat things myself. So
See, I'm a land captain, not a sea
Oh.
captain.
Do you have your own boat?
it's not so much a boat as it is a sentient dragon being. But you know, he's a good boat. He tries real hard.
Ah, the turtle. I remember you telling me last night. Very wonderful creature. I would love to eat
Mhm.
it.
We're not gonna do that, but I heard that turtles make good soup. But this
they
turtle,
do.
no.
No.
But imagine what we could do. The feast that we could put on
The
with it.
biggest soup you've ever seen. But maybe we could do that with one of those other dragon things.
I'll keep
Not
it
this
in
dragon
mind.
thing.
But
Mhm.
as far as land goes, I'm willing to go either way. And of course, I've given you my word that I would allow you passage into Ondario. Or at least you can use my name. He pulls out basically a letter with a stamp with his insignia on it, and he hands it to you, Show. Basically, and he says, "This is your passage into Inner Ondario."
Shell like holds it up to the light, and he like looks at it, and then he passes it to Raven. He's just like, "Raven, our interpreter, will handle this piece of information."
Certainly, you don't need to open it, but when you give it to the person that you'll know when you need to give it to them.
And then
Was there anything? Yeah.
Raven just
What
like
was
in Elven is just like, "Thank you, sir. That's very kind and generous."
And then you see his eyes light up. As one he's hitting on you before, but you see his eyes light up. He's like, you speak the ancient tongue. And then he goes into like full on, like even more ancient Elven. And you're just in there like like imagine it's like a different dialect, like Spanish to like Mexican Spanish versus like Spanish in Spain. Like it's very similar, yet it's like you're like, what? Some of the words you're like, what is he saying? He goes through a like very romantic, like talking about like all sorts of rated R things, of like what he wants to do. Very like Italian, telling you like very explicit things of like what he wants to do to you, essentially. Same things that he was telling Elizabeth Show, which you couldn't really hear, but you make out that it's the same language, like the same words.
I'm gonna roll an insight very quick. Oh, that was good. Shell doesn't know, but like just picking up on the vibes, he like blushes. Like he just knows that he's saying like the most despicable things ever. Just like, oh,
Yeah.
He's like, you dog.
And Raven, you do speak Elvish, so you do
Yeah.
understand most of what he's saying, but some of the words in which he's saying them are a little, are ancient. You know that he's older,
Mhm.
is basically the vibe. You may have heard it from, your dad saying it to your mom, maybe, you know, something like that,
Shit.
Well, they just kind of taken aback and just like, but I'm very flattered, sir.
He grabs your hand, he kisses you on the hand, as
He's
he
like,
looks at
"Wow."
you. Yeah, and then he goes back to talking. Sorry, what is it that you guys needed? Was it this all? Just telling me what we needed to land my ship?
I think, and then Chill almost says Captain, and he's like, I think that first mate, also he wanted to take a look at maybe your maps if he could.
His name is Furt.
Of
No.
course.
That's first mate Ert is Furt.
If you
Demoted instantly. Ouch.
certainly, if you can
Last.
decipher them, then sure you can look. And then you go and do you go? I'm assuming you go and look at the maps.
Yeah, I would. I was also gonna say if I was probably just gonna look at him before then, but this works too.
As you go up to this table, you notice that there's one map that's very similar to your notebook. Very like sketch drawings, not really like a full on. It doesn't really look like the map that we have posted here, but it's very like, you know, it shows like the waterways of the places are like the big things that you notice. Um, if you want to roll a investigation or a perception,
What's the
um,
what's the language on it, or would that be part of the role?
it's gonna be part of the roll. And I'm
Am I
looking at your
able
languages
to?
right now.
Is there any
Both of
Elven
you
on it?
guys, there's Elven and Dwarvish.
Okay.
So there's 3 different maps, and you guys both actually speak Dwarvish and Elvish. Depending on your role, may notice something else because there is another language on there that you are familiar with.
What was that role? Perception or
Or investigation.
insight?
I'll tell you either way.
13.
Okay. So with a 13, you notice there are some Draconic language on here as well. The Draconic language that is here basically is saying follow the stars. It's very celestial language that is unique for Draconic. Most of the dragons are basically like, land and, like this. This is very much like, what is above the earth itself. He has this part in a bold, like in like a box almost, where he's trying to figure out what this pattern basically means. Is what you notice with this 13. You see that he has no idea that symbol of language, but it's very celestic language. Because you only rolled a 13, I won't tell you exactly what it says, but you notice that the language itself is Draconic, and it's about stars and the sky above, like something to do with not the earth, but above. What could be above? In this time, think back in like medieval time, like people definitely believed the world was flat. They didn't believe anything was above this, air, right? Whereas we would think of space now. So that's why I would say it's a little jarring for you. It's language that's like, oh, that's weird. Has something to do with stars and thing. Might be worth like,
Can I read any of the
remember.
words?
Well, I was just say with a 13, you only recognize that this language is something to do with stars or.
I was like, because I can
stuff.
read Draconic.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's what I'm saying is with a 13, you only recognize that it's Draconic, and it has something to do with stars. Now, later, right, if you go to somewhere else and you remember back to this moment, you would remember those words and you could find a deeper meaning. Basically, it's a clue to something else
Okay.
later.
Okay.
both Raven and things, since you see Elven and Dwarves, you see that these maps are basically seafarers. They're all waterways, they're things, different places. Is a big map. Then you see a Dwarven map that's all kind of like, Game of Thrones. You see like where enemies have been, basically, and you see a lot of their maps where they've been in like the waters, like the Lake of Tranquility. There's outposts that have been around there. There's like the Molten Sea, the Strait of Scylla. You see there's all sorts of different like blockades and barriers on these maps for the Armada. And you see his path basically is this little J from the Coral High Tides all the way up to the Sanguine Sea is his like patrolling path, are the big things. Now, if there's anything specific that you're looking for that's not that, let me know and I can tell you if it would be on this map or not. But essentially, that's what you see on this map, these maps. One, a patrol of Gragenheim's stuff, and they're like, known ports and bases. Then you see waterways that go into the city itself and in throughout the rest of the land. And then you see that draconic text that's been scribbled on there.
It's a completely separate map, right? That draconic one.
It is on the map itself. It's on the Elven map, but it's a whole separate thing. It looks like it's something that was like written on there, but it looks like it's unsolved as well.
Can I write down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna write down all the. Captain Erd's probably gonna say. I'll let the captain know. What's his name? Captain Darquez. Probably like Jacques.
Yeah, it's
Captain Jockstrap.
Yeah.
I'll ask him. Captain, do you mind if I write down some of your notes? I can make out some of this because this is draconic language, but I can't quite understand all of it.
Draconic. That's what this language has been. I've been lost at words, trying to figure out what it is. Do you know what it says?
I can make out certain words, but it's written in a very strange pattern that doesn't really make any sense right now.
Of course, you can write down whatever you need. As long as it's not enemy tactics and you don't give it to our enemy, I don't see why not. We are at war, you know.
Yes, I'm aware, but trust me, my interests are of my own and my team, not of any nation.
And considering you're from Elysium and our only known ally, then by all means.
I'm gonna rat out to mycelium. And then so I start writing down all those notes. I'm gonna be a little rat.
Is there anything, either terrain or just of note, specifically on the map about the path to either Heaven's Ascent or to Andariel? Like anything that's worth noting?
On the path from here, or from Andariel down to Heaven's Ascent, or from where you guys are to Heaven's Ascent? Because you guys are basically halfway in between Heaven's Ascent and the left side of the rivers back to the Eldenwood. A big part of, the terrain that you guys see, the big notes are like the Sanguine Sea is the sea that bleeds, is what it says in Elven up there. You see that there's a large, like army force there, large naval force that's patrolling there that seems to like guard the Scorched coastland, which is that whole right side, versus really like, most you'd see them like, basically like patrolling basically back and forth. You see that they basically have created a like a blockade around the Scorched coastland in the Sanguine Sea to keep whatever's in that area, so that it doesn't
bay.
Yeah, it does not. Yeah, certainly. So it does not slide through there, versus like a normal patrol, which would just like go up and down, basically. things of note. I mean, this is a seafaring map, so most of it is just like waterways and things. You do see that there's a canal that goes basically directly into Andriel from like there's basically a straight shot that you can go from Andriel to Heaven's Ascent that looks like it's not on any other map. Like it looks like it's something that is like a hidden pathway.
Jacques, can you explain this little the river-looking path to Heaven's Ascent? I don't think I've seen that before.
I didn't know that you were into the naval ways. This is a pathway that, well, if we ever needed something, well, in ancient times, back in the day, we used to travel between Heaven's Ascent and Andriel all the time. And so they needed some sort of way to get there quicker. And so they created this canal, but it's only seen with a special, he points to like his navigational system. It's like a big globe and this crystal, and he kind of points to this crystal and it's like the only way through is with a crystal like this. It's basically what amounts to a magic pathway that can go through, so that if something is happening at Heaven's Ascent, and they need people there like quick, he's able to like use this path to like bend Earth itself to get there. And so he says you need a crystal like this to travel through this.
So, Jacques, what you don't need that crystal anymore, eh?
It's just something we've used for quite some time, but be hard to just give away.
Well, what kind of favor would you need to help us out? I know we don't want to trouble you and have you go to Heaven's Ascent right now. It's snowy and we know there's a wyvern there, and yeah, but we might want to go back at some point, and this seems like an awfully convenient way to get there. So,
well, I'd say the cost would be pretty high. I am a man of means, as it takes on.
well, I think I could
Roll initiative.
maybe maybe help out with that cost.
Raven, go ahead and roll me a persuasion with advantage.
15.
15, I'll say, gives you one check, where he's able to say, like, he basically is, like, leaning towards your way, but he's not all the way there convinced, if that makes sense. So he's,
Okay.
with the 15, it would have been probably, like, if you got, like, a 20 or higher, it would have for sure been, like, oh, yeah, dude. But with the 15, he's on your side. He's very convinced. I would say you'd have to either give him more or, look for a different way to get it.
After noticing, can I try and persuade him? I have some information that may interest him.
Certainly, if you can try. What is
Oh, I guess I'll roleplay it first and then roll after.
Yeah.
So I say, look, Raven brought up a good point, and maybe we can have a little trade, as you said. I have, if you give us the crystal, I can bring you back some information on this draconic that I've been written down. I know looks like you've been looking for it for a while. Maybe I can trade some of that. A little
Really
bit of this,
quick.
a little bit of that.
I just lean
Yeah.
over to show him, like, what a buzzkill, right?
He's like, you were so close to working your magic, and you can't pick up on any cues, and no wonder Elizabeth is hanging out there to try. And Show's just like, Show is already bored, like with all the map talk, and then like he got interested again when like Raven was like, oh, he was like, what's this? And he's like kind of blushing, and then starts talking again. Show's just like laying back, and he's like bored. again in the background.
Jacques, who's very interested in Raven, he's like, twisting his mustache is like the offer, and he's like, like leaning, he's contemplating it, and then Ert starts talking, and he's like, I mean, I guess that's fine too.
Well, it's a
I
good
would-
thing. No advantage, right?
I would say you get to roll persuasion with no advantage because
Yeah,
he was
what-
in a very different mood.
Yeah.
And what you offered is intriguing still, yes, but
Well, good,
his-
because I got an 8. And he's
An
just like,
8.
really? You waste my time for this?
and he pauses and looks at you and he's like, certainly it would be nice to have the information.
Shell's like, we'll let you break Darnell's other arm. How about that?
Violence does not always suit me, but that kind was fucking annoying. I should have killed him, but I didn't want to disrespect you.
You were very kind to us. I appreciate that. It's okay. You know what? I'm just gonna excuse myself. Raven, you do what you want to do, boy. It's okay. And Shell's like, you don't have to do it either. Also, though, and then Shell's just like, Captain Ert, come on, let's get out of here. And then Ert's like, it's gone anyways. Just like,
And it's just left with Jacques and Raven, and you see him like unbutton the top part of his shirt and stares at you, and it's just like, so how serious are we talking about this crystal?
Well, how many days trip away is Andriel still?
Well, with the snowstorm, it pushes back a few days. I was probably going to make land here shortly. And so, I have a few days.
Well, we got to camp at night too, so even on land. So that a few days equals a few nights, if you know what I mean.
I do like. I'll let you roll one more time with precision. The DC has lowered at this point because he is on your side.
12. Is this just 12 or with advantage?
With advantage. Yeah.
Okay. 18.
18. He is fully convinced. He like leans in closer to you. He like kind of starts walking his hand up your arm, and he like gets very into your personal space, and whispers into your ear sweet nothings in elvish.
Well, shall I meet you at your quarters?
And then he pulls out the crystal and basically like hands it to you.
Well, and once again, well, thank you, sir.
He says, "The payment's up front," and then he winks at you.
Well, you're in luck, because a fallen comrade of ours taught me a few tricks.
I can't wait to find him out.
one of Raven's like a silent carrier of the way rabbit.
Yes, exactly. I was thinking
His entire.
the fucking ship gets infected by rabbits. The next time we see it, just a fucking sailing
That's gonna be how the
decrepit
series.
vessel of were-bunny.
It's like the were rabbit plague is slowly
We're gonna get-
ruining the world.
For the sake of plot, we had a thing much earlier on in the story. It was a one night stand.
It was no, so you guys walk out and you see, and then basically what happens is he does need to make land soon. The snow is so bad, so you guys start to notice that if you guys aren't headed towards Heaven's Ascent, he does make his way off towards the left side. It's going to be about another day's journey of you guys think. So we can, if you guys have more to role play in there is a spicy scene that he's waiting for that I would rather just skip through and we just like nod at what happens, but
Oh, I want aggressive, sexy male on male sexy. No, I think the only thing
Aggressive detail.
show like when he comes out and then he's like dragging along Captain Ert, and then Show kind of sits down next to Elizabeth and he's like, well, I don't think Captain Jacques is gonna be interested in you anymore. And he's just like, oh, Raven's gonna be having a busy night.
Elizabeth is like, oh, thank the gods. Just like, I'm really only interested, in one man. Or, she like begins to think about, is Ert a man?
Who could it be?
You can do better.
Oh.
She just says like, I'm only interested in like, one man person, being. Starts
Yeah, we're
questioning.
completely oblivious.
Yeah.
Just eating.
Shell is just then like brings up a whole other like the point of just like, Captain Ert, how are you a thing? Like what? How does that work? Where'd you come from?
What do you mean?
Like what's a dragonborn? I was gonna ask that of Raven too. Like what? How did he? Where are those elves? And he's half elf, and like this is just a lot going on. I feel like I just don't know that much about the world really.
You're back with Tydox and Jared.
I was gonna
Uh-huh.
say, did you guys get back to the table? And we're just like,
Mhm.
what the fuck?
They were just like, what happened in there? That show has all these questions.
Where's Raven at? What's he doing?
Well, truthfully, I think if I sent the three of them to go, Tydox probably would have finished some breakfast and then went back to tinker and fucking left Jared at the table.
Jared probably would have gone back to bed.
You good, bud? He's like, I warmed up for this.
I know, and his silk robes and his and his latte.
What I mean, Captain Ert, is like, is your daddy a dragon or are like dragonborn? Are you like people? I've only seen one of you ever.
Well, let me tell you a story now.
Well, my daddy. See.
So, when
Hold
two
on,
dragons
now lift up,
get
lift up.
together, no. No,
It's a
I
very
think
complicated question that I continue to ask myself as well, but as the god of this universe.
I don't know. Captain Ert would basically just be like, because he himself, Captain Ert would just be like, look, so my background is actually very up in the air, and I myself am still trying to figure it all out. Basically, I woke up 400 years ago in Groggenheim, and that's about the extent. Ever since then, I've been looking and finding out who exactly I am and where I came from and how I came to be.
So you don't have a mama and a papa. That's why you're so the way you are.
That's why I am the way I am, Shonen.
Well, that's pretty crazy. That doesn't really help me understand anything, but I guess it's just the way the world works.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, Elizabeth is also interested in this conversation. She's like, yeah, I've never seen one that walks before, ever. Most dragons are flying and, hundreds of feet tall and,
Like a big lizard, more so, really. I mean, look at him.
right.
He doesn't breathe fire either.
And I've never seen one your color before. There's obviously the red one, there's a green one, there's a black one, and a white one, but and a blue one, but I've never seen one like you.
I think Captain Ert, like in real life, or like is also like just shoveling food into his mouth, like as we see the cat also doing.
It's like, so while you guys are pondering these deep questions,
And then he's just shoveling shit in his face.
Yeah, like Elizabeth is trying to like admire
Mhm.
him and like staring
like,
at him, and he's just
"I'm
like,
hungry." So romantic, yeah.
You know, she's like casually flirting with him, but like not really, just like, you know, is full on.
Cat Mert just wants French toast.
French toast. Well, that's pretty crazy. What is France, anyways?
Where's,
Talk
where's
to
French?
Tydox and Jared. I'm bored now. And Show just leaves. And I think he just like tries to find them. And then he puts like no effort into finding them, and then he just walks outside on top of the deck and just goes back to what he was doing before.
Sweet.
I'm probably just hanging out with Elizabeth, TBH, but not really picking up on any hints if she's giving me any. We're just kind of chit chatting.
Munchkin.
Yeah.
Tydox doing?
What are you
Dax
guys
is
doing?
tinkering.
You know what,
I-
Jared? Jared might see. This is
Oh,
probably
what?
gonna be the last time in a while that you can get at a fully functional kitchen. He's gonna do some cooking. What is that? Where is it?
Can we roll for
My
deliciousness?
chef. I can't. I don't think I actually roll anything, but I can make some little treats
Mm.
as a chef. This is a thing I can do
Yeah.
if I can remember where it is.
It's in your feet.
There it is.
Does that mean you can make
I
like?
can-
Mm,
I can
tasty
make a
sauce.
delicious little treat for 3 people.
Which 3 people do you choose to give a treat to?
Mm,
Does he have to do it right now?
wow.
Are you baking holiday cookies in your holiday oven,
Yes.
sir? Best cookies I've ever
Delicious
got.
holiday cookies.
Instead of ribbon
Powdered
cookies, he
sugar.
can do raven cookies.
A burnt edge transit.
Yeah, it's
Where
dumb.
is it?
you gain a bonus to either Constitution or Wisdom proficiency with cooked utensils. It can prepare food that allows creatures to regain additional hit points when taking a short rest, as well as gain temporary hit points after a long rest. You can
Yes.
do the 3 the cooked treats or the things.
Yeah, 1 hour
Temporary hit
work.
point. Yeah.
Cooking more treats equal to your proficiency bonus. Last 8 hours. Yeah, that's it. So I can make a treat. They don't have to eat it now, but they can eat it later. They'll last 8 hours. Like it stays fresh for 8 hours. And then they'll spoil. There's a lot of raw ingredients. There's a lot of eggs. A lot of eggs in this cookie.
Well, we'll ignore the 8-hour thing because you guys are fully about to spend a full day basically getting back to land.
It's really cold though, so it's like a refrigerator.
It's like it's like a
That's right.
refrigerator.
Just leave them out on top of the boat.
So he makes cookies, or I mean, you can tell what kind of treat do you make. It doesn't have to be a cookie or anything, but
That'll be cookies. Make some nice butter cookies.
I'm
Nice
gonna
buttery shortbread.
unless there's anything else, I'm gonna fast forward a day basically.
My other thing is Show gets bored then once he's out top on deck, and then he starts to make snowballs, and he brings the snowballs inside, and he definitely just Tydox is like tinkering, and he doesn't even notice Show come in, and Show just comes in and plops it like right on his head, and he's just like, "It's snowing, Tydox, come outside!" And then he just is like frustrated with him that he's just in there.
I think Tydox would not. I know what snow is. In group, it's just all year round. It's a very common thing in the world.
And then Show wilts. He's just like, nobody wants to play with me essentially, and then he just goes back up outside again.
Nobody wants to play with me.
Except the entire dock of women. The
Show
entire
picks
fleet of
up,
women.
Yeah.
picks up none of that.
Yeah,
So
the
alone.
whole you just go outside and the women who have been just pretending to clean and do other things just like go back again to busy work, and they've just been like staring at you. There's now it's like doubled or tripled at this point. So they've just been sitting there like staring at you.
So it just works out.
Would even more so. Well played, show.
Tie
Would,
dogs. What were you gonna say?
I'll say, would this place have suitable things to for Tydox to create some bullets for Darknell's gun if he ever uses it?
Probably not, to be honest. But
I
not
just
just because it's not here, just because the resources for the bullets and stuff are trickier to find.
Magical in nature.
They're magical in nature, yeah. And Raven, before we get to you, is there anything else you guys do before the nightly activities?
Nah, like I said, I was just kind of chilling with Elizabeth, and we were just kind of hanging out in the mess hall, eating, and then whatever. Probably just kind of vibing, just hanging out, but nothing crazy.
Perfect. Sweet. Yeah, so she's just like, is there anything you want to talk to her about, or you're just chatting?
I'll probably just, cause I mean, since the conversation since she's the only one, I'm just talking to Elizabeth about like a little bit of my backstory.
Yeah.
But
She's listening to you very intently, and it feels very comforted by, knowing more about you. And then the nightly activities. Unless you have anything else, Raven, before.
I'm good.
I'm definitely not gonna role play this.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to get demonetized.
she bang. He's ready.
Oh baby, she moves.
The captain's quarters. You've been like summoned basically to his quarters, and then imagine. Have you guys ever seen Futurama? Like Zach Brain.
I was like, heart-shaped bed.
A heart-shaped bed. Zach Brannigan, like he's like you walk into his room, he's completely like naked underneath his thing.
With the champagne.
Yeah, with the champagne. Yeah. And he's just sitting there like, laid across the bed waiting for you. And then I will give you the option to choose if you guys do whatever.
Oh, it's getting freaky.
Roll a d20 so we know what it is.
We know how freaky it gets.
It gets
The lower, the more degenerate.
Oh, then
The
it's a
higher, the more
3.
vanilla.
It's a very
Oh!
degenerate.
Oh,
Very
it's nasty. That heart room is stanking. Oh my god.
You guys,
They
go
throw out the
ahead.
sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to burn the captain's quarters after that. It's all it's some raunchy shit.
You guys, yeah, exactly. Tydox got it. You guys have a very, very not passionately romantic, like very like opposite spectrum, pure instincts, physical night of lovemaking,
Carnal.
cardinal, passionate lovemaking. Will you roll a d4?
Oh, he bringing out the whips.
3.
You take 3 points of damage.
We're
When
gonna find
you're
out why there's more than
passionate
one boy elf.
I'm just saying, at
Uh,
one point I turned into an octopus.
Oh god.
That's so vile, dude. Oh my god. All right. So
Your new condition now is you can't sit for at least 8
you
hours.
accomplish your night of love making for this magical crystal, right? That
And the
allows
crystal
you
was
to
used.
head to Heaven's Ascent. It gives you a direct path. So it allows you entry into Heaven's Ascent too. I think so we'll just say you earned that, and you took 3 points of damage that you're definitely gonna feel in the morning as you wake up.
And every
So-
time you pee.
Every time. God, it is so so crazy. and you guys make it to the shore of this thing. This whole place is covered. It's been a full day. The snow has not let up. He can't get all the way out, so he's basically has given you guys like a rowboat to like get out.
Yeah, this
And-
Ferrero Rocher has a tumor.
Yeah, it has. And he basically has like sent you guys to shore safely. He's definitely the type of person that he like waves at you. He's very nice, consensual in the morning, but is very much like all right, I've done my thing, now go away. So like not staying and cuddling, like he's at this huge bed, I don't want you to feel like a piece of meat, but you're definitely in his eyes a piece of meat.
But you were used.
You were used.
It was an
Raven used
exchange
him.
of goods. Okay.
An
There
exchange
was-
of goods. Yeah, you get to
And
walk a
he's
shame
just
in the
good.
snowstorm back home.
I
Was that
immediately
a long
walk
rest?
over to Jared's
Yes.
room and be like, "Hey
Every-
man, where did you get that coffee?"
Everybody but Raven gets a long rest.
Great.
Totally fair.
No, grape.
We had a long rest beforehand, but it is.
Yeah.
I don't even think. Yeah, didn't we have one before?
I don't remember. I didn't.
Pretty
Oh.
sure we were good.
He was
Captain
Earl
sick.
might have been
He doesn't
sick.
know.
Yeah, Captain Orb was sick. He was weary
Yeah.
from the battle that he had.
So everybody got a long rest except for Raven. You guys wake up in the morning to basically Captain Jacques, like getting you guys onto a boat to get to shore. Is there anything prior to that that you guys want to talk about before I just kind of push through? Cool. So
Shell's
it's-
like on the ship and he's like waving with his hat and he's like, "Bye Yara, bye Captain Jacques. See you later." And then
You
he's
see
gonna-
a
Elizabeth
plethora
with
of
us?
yeah, Elizabeth is with you guys as well. You guys also see a plethora of women who are just throwing things at show. Articles of clothing, all sorts of none of which are landing in the ship, but they're all, very much trying to let show know that they will not be the same without him.
Shell just is like, they were just so nice, don't y'all think? I mean, just what good people the Elvis are. I mean, just really took care of us.
So now you guys are on a little dinghy, basically headed to this area. You guys on this little dinghy, you guys basically come up on shore to a small little village. It's an elven village. As you guys look around, you notice that there's not a lot of people here. It almost seems empty.
Doesn't look abandoned though, right? Just looks like there's not a lot of people, just like a small town.
It is a small town. It does look abandoned, very much. It looks like a ghost town. It looks like it's been kind of run over. I mean, there are trees. There are things. So things to note in this town as you begin to walk and see. Actually, go ahead and anybody who wants to look around, go ahead and roll a perception or investigation. I'll tell you kind of 3 to 5 big things you notice in this town.
I will
Shell got a
perception.
5, and he still just has his spyglass, and he's still just looking around, not really. Still doesn't really know how it works.
I got a 10.
Raven got a
14,
15.
15. Jared.
I guess I can roll. I feel like Jared would not be particularly observing.
No worries.
12. That's okay.
So 15 and higher, what you note. Actually, I'll start 10 and I'll go 15. So 10 or higher, you guys notice that, again, the town is abandoned. It's a smaller village. You do notice that there's a lot of like lights, it's very colorful sort of things that are going around. They're like lights within like a bulb. It's heavily snowing, so it's hard to like tell everything, but it's not necessarily like electricity. It's like a fire within like a colored bulb of sorts. Um, you see a gigantic tree in the middle of the town square that looks like some of these like decorations have fallen off of this tree. Um, with a 15, you notice um, that there are like horseshoes. There's a couple of them that have like fallen off into like a trail, and you notice that there's um, like a carriage that has crashed into the side of like the town itself. It's like slid, like a big slit, like collision, basically. Um, and you notice basically there's a trail up towards like a little hill with another looks um, like a manor or something up there, but that's what you notice in your town.
It's pretty quiet in this town. Does it give you vibes of the last town we pulled up to? See any
Rabbits.
rabbits running around?
Shell's like, no rabbits here.
It's gone airborne.
Oh, they
It's
all
gone airborne.
Well, the only thing that is of interest is that that sled over there. That crash looks pretty recent. And there's some trails or footsteps from it, so maybe we can follow those, find out what's going on here.
Tydox would go over to investigate the sled, the crashed sled.
Yeah. Todd, actually, go ahead and roll an investigation. Actually,
Investigation.
yeah.
I'm good at these. Oh, that's not great. It's only 15.
15.
It's fucking 8.
You notice there's a ton of like tracks that are leading up towards that, hill with the other town. That looks like there's 4 sets of footprints, or sorry, 2 sets of 2 footprints. You see, there's 4 feet basically, so 2 sets of 2 footprints, or 1 set of 4 footprints. wherever your mind goes. But you see that there's 4 foots that are headed that way. You see, as you're staring into the sled, that there is a sack here that appears to be empty. And the other thing that you see on this sled with the 15, you see that there are a bunch of dead reindeer
Okay.
that have all basically are corroding here. It's only been like what you could tell medically, probably. I mean, Elizabeth would probably have walked over and been like, "Hey,
They're dead.
these are dead." They've been. It looks recent though.
Man,
You know.
she's a good doctor.
My
Really
medical
knows.
opinion.
It's like that's engine right there.
And in my medical opinion, it is like very recent, less than a day. These animals being dead. There's like wolf prints that have like come by and have started to like take the meat off of them, but
So they probably don't taste very good.
Okay. So I think I would just inform the group of
Well, these reindeer are definitely dead, medically speaking. There seems to be nothing of interest left on this sleigh, for example, but there are some peculiar footprints. Maybe two beings or one weird shaped being that goes up towards that manor. So I really think that's our only way unless we plan to wait for the wolves to come back.
Is the sleigh still intact or is it like messed up?
The carriage.
Or the carriage, yeah.
It's not a
That was
sleigh,
Tydox's word.
The carriage is mostly intact. It is like it looks like it's fixable, but it does not look like it's like completely totaled. If that makes sense. Like
Well,
maybe there's like some parts that are missing that are like nearby, for example. And if you had a guy who is very good at tinkering, he may be able to fix it.
Guess
So we
if,
could just burn it.
we chose to
We need
fix this and
fireworks.
take it, we might be able to get somewhere faster, but not sure what would pull us.
I'm,
Ew.
So it'd be like Hercules, just like with the car, just
Yeah, exactly that.
It means we can go faster.
well, I cannot, for one, turn into a horse, so I'm off the table. But if we can
And I'll
fix it up, I'm
A
always.
seahorse. That'd be pretty fun. Pretty cute.
I don't think they have legs though.
Yeah, but we
turn
can
into a
sneak in
seahorse,
the
just
dark.
flopping on the ground.
Didn't take more than 5 to 10 minutes. I look like I have everything I need here.
I'm always down for less walking and more drinking.
Okay, so you guys choose to fix up the sled or the carriage.
Yeah, the carriage.
Yeah, the red carriage.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Red.
Between our mending,
Yeah. Right?
In the
Put it
fixing
back together.
montage.
Yeah,
Bow,
it
bow,
takes you
bow,
about an
bow.
hour to fix this up.
An hour.
Yeah, I mean it's not that bad, but it's still it's a lot of work for you guys to grab the pieces, grab
Did you get
other
the
wood
spark
that's
plugs at
around.
least?
You know, so in this hour, you begin to hear noises. The two people specifically that hear them first are Raven and Jared. You hear wolves, the cries of a wolf, and the other thing that you hear is some sort of like sliding or I don't really know necessarily the noise that it would make, but it sounds as though something is like rolling around.
anybody else hear that?
Listen,
Yeah,
naively.
I hear it. It's Jared probably hears it because he's probably not doing much to help with the sled. He's just like away from everyone else.
Tydox is fucking
Grabbing-
welding with a mask. He's not
I'm-
pausing. He's just
I'm
like,
just grabbing stuff for Tydox, yeah.
Snow's melting around him.
he ain't got nothing. Perception negative.
I don't know if it's related to those tracks from earlier, but there's something out there. Jared, if you want to keep those robes clean, you better keep an eye out. Help me keep watch.
Yeah, Jared, I'll do that. I'll keep a lookout. You guys just keep fixing that sled.
As you fix the sled at Tydox, it's all up and running. How do you guys plan on pushing it or getting it going?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Can anybody resurrect a reindeer?
Actually, that's what took the hour. The carriage was a like 20-minute thing. The rest of the
How
time
big
was
is this
me
carriage?
rebuilding the reindeer.
Rebuilding the reindeer is so funny.
Just this cyborg
They're mechanical
reindeer
now,
guy.
yeah.
Bigger, faster, stronger.
He's like, I am Rudolph.
I don't. It's hard to roll. So roll a d20 and then you'll be able to add your intelligence modifier to it.
Oh yeah.
And I will tell you, you can tell me, depending on what you roll, will work a couple different ways.
Okay.
On how well the thing got fixed and basically what has
Okay.
happened since then.
Ooh. And my intelligence modifier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dang.
And
Okay.
you can add your proficiency with it because you'd be proficient with this too. So it'd be plus like 5+3.
So I'm at 5. So I'm at +8
Yeah.
on top of so 15 plus 8.
23.
Yeah.
23.
23. Thank you. I was like,
I got you.
23. Thanks, man.
So with the 23, you can describe how you fix this carriage in any way, whether it's movable, now you have wheels, in whatever creative, magical way that you've tinkered this sled to be. I will let you. 23, 20 was the cutoff, so 23 is even more so. So
No. I think this.
Oh, you can get a propeller.
Let me
In the
see
back.
real quick. Oh yeah. So Tydox had the ball bearings, and those things come with 1,000 of them in each one. So he probably engineered this thing. Like the wheels were probably mostly broken, so he took that and some rope or something and just crafted essentially like tracks. So this thing is now movable in the snow, like over all terrain. It's got like some tracks that like chugs along on it. It'll still roll pretty easily downhill. The uphill might take a little more work because it's tracks, not wheels. So
gotcha.
but I mean, this thing is stout, not flipping over. It's a typical carriage in the top. He was just like really full sending in this. Oh, we're going over the snow. We got to have a little bit beefier setup. So imagine
Perfect.
some kind of like wooden track type thing with
Oh.
ball bearings.
You know those mine carts where you like go the levers up and down,
Yeah.
The trolley?
then they move?
No.
Mm-hmm.
We should do
Yeah.
that.
You know what?
So it's
That-
not-
Has to be on a track, I think. Though.
I think that would
It
still, yeah, because you can't
Does it
steer
have to be on the
That's
track?
just, that's
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you still need some sort of movement to
Movement.
motion
Show.
this. So
Shell.
show, if you want to push this thing, go ahead and roll me. You're gonna roll like basically 3 different strength checks.
What if she
Uh,
just throws the fucking car?
He's gonna be like those
Okay.
people that pull like a car.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be determining how fast you get up this hill, based off these 3 rolls. So you have like certain ones to hit, basically. So just roll, just your pure. You do athletics or, actually probably just athletics.
The first one is a 10. The second one is a 20. And the third one is a 20 as well.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
those were natural. Those were both after the.
Oh,
After
okay.
the-
I was like, Jesus.
Imagine like nat 20, nat 20.
First show's like, what the fuck
Hercules,
would you
Hercules.
make?
So,
He's like, I don't
as-
care.
Yeah, as you're pushing this sled, all of you guys are on it. It's slow at first. You gotta your feet are getting stuck into the snow. But as you get a good rhythm, and as the tracks really like get grooving onto the thing, you begin to push it, and you start pushing this thing very, very fast. It takes you guys about an hour to push all the way up this hill. I'm gonna say because of that, though, you're gonna take 1 level of exhaustion. Show.
Oof.
Okay. But you-
I'm like they get up to the top and then Shell's like, y'all are heavy. You need to stop eating so many of those cookies. This is ridiculous. We need to be a fit, strong army.
Yeah. So you
There's
now
just
get
like
disadvantage on ability checks.
Oof.
Oh no.
oh,
That's a good point, Shell. Have a beer and chill out.
You're right, Raven. You're right. And then Show is now another point of exhaustion because now he's also drunk.
That's right.
No,
Um,
I'm just kidding.
I would say, yeah, you've leveled one exhaustion from pushing it up, but it was certainly there. You see that there's this huge, what amounts to a workshop. Looks like a giant, like mechanical factory in front of you. And on the outside, you notice that there are four people that are round balls of people. I don't know if
Is
you've
it
ever seen a
Bakugan?
snowman, but they look like snowmen. I was going to describe them not snowmen, but they're snowmen.
Yeah.
You see four snow people.
You know those little ball worm
Where is
things from
exhaustion
Elden
at
Rings?
again?
Oh,
On
Level
your
exhaustion?
character, go to conditions.
In the top right, right under your hit
underneath
points.
your hit points, conditions, and then scroll down, and then exhaustion.
Cool. Mm.
Want to be level 6 exhaustion.
Basically, can't get rid of exhaustion until
Oh, that's death. My bad.
Yeah, I was like, don't you pick 6. You big idiot.
basically until you take a long rest. It's the only way to get rid of it. So, but you see at the front of this factory, there you see there are four snowmen that look like they are in front of the entrance. But yeah, you see a giant factory. And you see the footprints lead inside the factory as well. Those that have been tracking the footprints.
Are the snowmen moving, or are they just like stationary?
Right now they look stationary.
Okay, they don't even look.
They don't look like there's. I mean, they don't look like they're staring. I mean, they look like they're staring at you, but that's just because you guys are facing them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at this point I'd probably step out of the cart and then see if anybody else needs help out of the cart, and then probably start walking towards slowly, cautiously, but say thank you, Show, for your help, and then
No, captains, you gotta lead by leading. Show by leading. Whatever. I can't even think of it.
lead by
Right,
example.
Yeah,
Lead by-
exactly. Yeah,
you know,
you
it's
got
funny.
the word.
The captain would know that off the rip. I'm just saying.
No, because you're a big yapper instead of
Mhm.
being a doer. So it's okay. You wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't understand. Oh, this vanilla lap.
That was
Okay,
quite
chapstick.
impressive. Your feats of strength never ceases to amaze me.
Thank you, Elizabeth. You guys are very slow. And also, I wanted to make sure you and Jared were comfortable because I think trying to get Jared to walk up this hill would have been just the slowest thing ever. He would have been talking about his shoes. It just would have been so much.
Goodness.
There
His
is about
loafers,
there is about 8 to 10 inches of snow on the ground. So as you like go into it, Tylex, that's like
I was
half
like-
your body.
Yeah,
You know?
Oh my
it's
God.
like, I don't think Tynox would have made it.
No, but you're in your suit, I imagine. You I don't know. You haven't
I
said that
think
you're in your suit yet.
No,
but-
I don't think I would be in the suit like as tinkering and riding in the carriage. Because if I was going to be in the suit, I probably would have helped Show push. But yeah, I'm just in the carriage. Chill.
Perfect.
Is it still like 8 to 10 inches of snow though, like all the way up
Yeah,
top?
it is. It is like 8 to 10 inches of snow up here.
Oh,
It
but-
is crazy.
I probably looked at Tynox. Do you need lift? Throw Tynox on my shoulder. I'm just staring down at him, just like.
Jared has prestidigitized the little area around him.
You know,
Everywhere that he walks, he just melts snow as he's.
so,
It's
you know,
very
part the
slow.
snow, yeah.
He has
Yeah.
to stop, cast, stop.
Yeah. And the snow from the sides just like slowly comes over, so it's just like at the bottom of your feet instead of like, But you're making a path to the grass basically as you're
And his
walking.
loafers stay dry the
Yeah.
entire time, like zero wetness. He's
Yeah.
pristine.
Yeah, Elizabeth is walking very close to you, Jared, but is not like in your personal space. She's just kind of like, yeah, this is a great idea, you know. You're like walking through. But yeah, as you guys approach the front of the factory, what do you guys do? You see that the doors themselves are shut, and then the 4 snowmen are around.
Can Tydox identify what is keeping the door shut? If everything looks to be like a mechanical factory, is there anything from the outside that I could identify to see if it's?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
Oh yeah, 16. Oh, investigation. I'm sorry, 7, 16, 7, 18. Math
18.
hard.
A lot less satisfying than you want, but the snow looks like it is blocked in the door.
So I don't know if we're going in there or not, but realistically, we would probably have to dig our way in, or at least get rid of the snow, because it's the main thing holding the door closed if we wanted to go in through the front. Or we could ask them if anybody, can speak that whatever language they speak.
Those things.
Oh, sweet snow.
I'm gonna knock
Yeah.
on the door, see what happens.
There's no door. It's
Yeah, it
a
is.
wall of snow.
That's it.
It is a wall of snow that
It's
is
like-
there,
Oh.
basically. That is
Yeah.
blocking the doors. I mean, you can
Yeah.
see that there is a door, but it's like half of it is like snow.
Okay.
So you see it. You basically have seen the footprints have
Mhm.
gone all the way up there, and then what amounts to the snow has like fallen off of the roof to like block in the door once they've entered into the door.
Well, Raven, maybe you just light it on fire again. I mean, we're good at that.
I mean, it's worked in the past. I have improved my Molotov cocktail recipe, so it's much stronger.
Can't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
Is the building
What?
like mostly
Very
metal?
wooden.
wooden? Oh, okay.
It's
alright.
wooden with. I mean, there are metal aspects to it because it is a factory, but it is like.
Do it.
If you, I feel like Tydox would probably be the only one that would be able to see. Like as you're looking at as you're looking at the thing, it looks like it's supposed to be wood, yet for some reason, it's like not wood. It's not really metal either. And as you like look closer to things, some of the decorations look like they're, like there's like a pole, for example, like in the sides that, is supposed to be like metal, but it's some sort of like red and white thing, and the top part of the, place itself, looks to be very candy-like.
Here's what I know. We came all this way. Show pushed us up the hill. So, out of respect for his work, let's go see what's inside first. And then if we don't like what's inside, then we can burn it down.
It doesn't seem to be a bad plan for us. It does usually tend to work out. I just don't. Something about this entire facility seems a bit unsavory. Almost as if like it's trying to lure us in with a sweet treat.
I think it's unsavory though. Looks like it kind of, tasty. Like maybe we should go eat it.
Well, it's definitely not up to code.
Maybe they don't have codes here, huh? You ever think about that, Jared? Maybe these people are just doing their best.
Well, you have to have
Speaking
code.
of that, does anybody want to try to interact with these 4 sentries? Are they sentries? Do they guard the door? Maybe they guard the door. We haven't tried to interact with them yet.
Telling
And I'm
me
saying
that
all of this
snow-
from Ert's shoulder. Just like, if we go over there, I mean, I don't know.
You telling
really
me
wa-
the snow talks? What? How we gonna? What? I already told you I don't seek snow, so you guys gotta do that, okay?
And I was, I'll probably after hearing Tylex, I'll probably kind of just casually walk over to the snowman on the right, and I'll just kind of look at it. Poke it
Oh.
right in the middle of the forehead, just amongst it all.
You try to touch it?
Yeah.
Perfect. You roll
That's phenomenal.
a
Perfect.
dex saving throw.
Oh, roll the dex saving throw. Okay.
I just,
You're probably the best person to do this, so.
I just.
Oh, well, I ain't saving shit. I got a 3.
If he tried to touch it, I think Tydox would have jumped the fuck off of him and into the snow.
You get stabbed in the chest
Oh,
with a frozen wooden branch. It does 15 damage, half
holy! Oh,
because you are resistant to cold. So
Bless.
only 7.
but still, damn.
And then everyone else roll initiative.
Absolutely not.
Show's just like, I didn't start it this time. You can't blame this on me. That was Captain Ert who did it. And then he's like, that was First Mate Ert who did it.
That was Fert. Fert taking charge again.
Taking an icicle to the chest.
God damn, just went. I'm like, oh.
It's like, oh god, tastes like gin. Fucking cold as pine tree. Man.
Damn.
Yeah, I think Tydox would have been totally with you, with your hand up and everything, until he noticed you're trying to like.
Dude, that's
touch
how I was
it.
gonna go.
And he's like, he fucking bails off, just like, nope.
20 to 25. 15 to 20. Nice.
I better
10
get to
to
counterattack
15.
this thing.
What is everyone's?
10.
11.
10, 11,
12.
12.
13.
Perfect.
Look at us go.
No different.
Built numerically, actually.
Perfect. All right, so basically, just imagine like a square. Ert is basically right in front of it, and then they're like in a line like this. So Ert and Tydox are right in front of it on the far right side, and then Jared, Show, and Tydox, you guys are in the middle. There's basically 2 on your left, 1 on your right, or 2 on your right, 2 on your left, and Ert and Tydox are also on your right. Okay, I could draw a small little map if you guys need a visual representation, but
I think I got it.
Yeah.
Art's ready.
Ert, you are up.
Perfect. So immediately being stabbed in the chest, Ert's grabbing his sword and swinging straight at this thing's head.
All right.
And so now, roll. Hopefully Ert can actually hit it, but oh, thank God. Okay. I rolled a what's 16 plus 8? 24? 25?
It definitely hits.
Okay.
Who knew?
And-
Snowmen don't have a very high AC.
Thank God, I needed that. And then so I will roll a. I guess technically I just pulled out my sword. Is that considered like a one hand or is that
A free
considered
action.
2 hands?
You can do one hand probably, because
So whatever,
Yeah,
do
you'd
a
be
1d8
pulling it.
plus 5 or. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
1d8
okay, so
plus
1d8.
5.
Okay. So I'll do the 1d8, which this one. 6 damage.
6.
And then I guess we'll just stick with 6. Let's see how well that does.
6, you see half its body explode into the side of the thing. So, I'll tell you that. Half its body from like the top part, you slice through it, it explodes out over to the side.
Okay.
Uh,
All Alright, so then yeah, Captain Herbal obviously just would have been just swiping immediately across, being pissed. Obviously, he just got stabbed in the chest, and then like as you said, half of its body just kind of exploded, and he's like, "What the flip?" And then now he grabs his sword and gets ready for like two-handing it for battle.
Perfect. Tydox, you are up.
Right. I think it's gonna take Tydox his action to get into his armor. So I
Yep,
have a
does.
bonus action left, and I think I'm going to. So since this is snow, once I get into the armor, I'm going to use the bonus action to cast like a cantrip Black Holy Fire.
Mhm.
So essentially, this is flavored as just like
Oh,
the welding torches. So from Tydox. So he just on each like hand, kind of like got the plasma cutters out, just ready, like fuck this. And I'm actually going to give it to Ert because he's right next to me. It says you conjure the black flame, so if possible, I wanted to like heat up Ert's sword so that it could cut better.
I forgot I do have Savage Attacker, which I didn't roll. I don't know if it's gonna make that much of a difference, but
You can roll.
or if
You
it
can roll
or if
another.
it's too late. Okay. No, if it's too late, that's fine. Okay, you said 8. It might even be the same. It's the same anyways. Doesn't matter.
Cool. So your sword now is engulfed with a black flame. Okay, you can now
So it's gonna do
an extra D6 of
D6.
fire damage.
Oh, what the
Okay.
flip?
Jared, you are up.
Yep.
Why did you do that more often?
You know what?
It's the first thing
Jared's gonna do what he does best, supporting, standing behind the front lines. I'm gonna give cold resistance to Show because he's looking pretty cold. I assume he's still topless.
Show, I imagine he's not quite, but he's basically like wearing like Luffy outfit from One Piece. I think it's probably almost the equivalent. He's like, I got a tank top, probably a bit longer pants, but like that's about it.
It's some booty shorts.
That is 100% how I've imagined Show this whole time.
Just wearing some Daisy Dukes, walking around in the snow.
Yeah,
Show's
it's
right.
been
Just told
bothering.
you he's wearing pants.
It's been bothering Jared. And he's going to give you cold resistance. You are now.
Oh, thanks, Jared. That was nice of you. I appreciate it. I'm not that cold though. I kind of run hot blooded. But yeah, you know, that was nice. And he pats him on the back like some good wax.
Alright, and I'm gonna spend a bonus action for Ghost Sword, Spiritual Weapon. Spiritual Weapon.
Nice.
Give me a Ghost Sword.
Perfect.
Go.
Where do you want to put it?
Let me tell you.
feel like-
Ask Raven.
You had enough action. You had enough that kind of action. Alright. I don't know. One of the ones that isn't engaged yet, which I
Okay,
guess would be like off
probably.
to the side.
Yeah, there's 2 on the left for you.
Yeah, I'll take one on the left.
Okay.
And
And you
give
can
it a
roll to
stab.
attack it.
Yeah, give it a stab.
He's so casual about the stab. Just
All right, 22 to hit.
Yeah. 2 hits. For sure.
Oh, 12 damage.
Well,
Nice.
you see, as you stab it, that half of it like collapses down into the snow itself from the sword. Raven, you're up.
I think I am going to chuck a Molotov cocktail at one of them.
Oh boy.
Perfect.
Because fire melts snow, right?
Yes.
19,
19 hits.
and we have 12 damage.
12. So, do you throw this Molotov at which one? The one on the far left. There's like basically one on the left and one on the right of the main door itself have not been attacked. The one on the far left has been attacked, and the one on the far right has been attacked.
We'll do the door, one of the door ones.
Okay. Left or right?
We'll pick left.
So the one on the left, you throw the Molotov at him, and you hear this loud screech as it burns and completely melts the whole thing. Okay. Show, you are up, unless Raven, you have more to do.
No, I think that's all I'm going to do this turn.
Show, he's like does not understand the snowman thing, and he is like does not see them as a threat. I don't think, even though they stab like Cadifer, but he's just like eats snow. Like, I don't get it. And so he like just lights a torch, and I think he's just gonna try to be like getting into the building by like melting the snow on the door.
Just
I don't even think
completely
he's gonna
ignoring
fire.
them.
He's just like, I don't. He's like, I do not get what's happening right now.
Go ahead and roll just a to hit on the door
Okay.
itself for the snow on the ground. We'll call it a DC like 15.
20, or well, it's a 16 on a dice, and I think I get like a +6 on my hits.
Plus 7.
Or plus
yeah,
7,
so-
so.
Yeah, you start punching away at the snow that's piled up on the door. 4 more snow people spawn up behind each and every one of you guys.
Oh,
So now there's 7 snowmen. The 2 that were attacked form back, and they stab. 2 of them stab Ert. 2 of them are going to stab
Love that.
Tydox.
I don't love that.
That's a nat 20 on Tydox.
Fucking hell.
2 stab Jared. They
Shield.
miss.
Oh,
And 2 stab Raven. And so
I do have
they
a-
all.
Here's a question: How
No
does
one
how
goes
would
for
absorb
show.
elements work if it's cold damage? It's not technically a spell. It says spell captures some incoming energy, lessens the effect on you, and storing it for your next melee attack. You have resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of your next turn. Also, the first time you hit, you get the target an extra 1d6 of damage of the triggering type.
So normally this is for like spells.
Okay.
And this is
I don't
just
have to
an
use it there.
it's like an added bonus to their
Okay.
attack.
Yeah.
So it's like poison basically on a thing, like a dagger basically, except for it's cold damage. And I don't. Is it a reaction?
Yeah, absorb elements does happen
Yeah.
on a reaction, but it doesn't really.
I would
it
say
kill you.
you would have you can use it if you want to use your reaction. I would say that it would work just like you imagine.
Okay. Because it just says spell captures some of the incoming energy.
Yeah. So basically,
Listen
the
to
half. It's the half that since you get resistance. So whatever the damage is done to you, it takes half of it, and then you can use that half on your next attack. Add it to your next attack. So if you want to use that, certainly you can absorb this element and then take
If I
half
absorb
of.
it- If I
this
absorb it, do
nat
I
20.
have to use the damage on the next attack?
Yes.
Then I'm just gonna take it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna use it.
Earth, you
Take it
take
like a gnome.
13 damage. Half
half or
to
is that-
6.
Blessed.
Okay. Tydox, you're gonna take a bajillion damage. I'm so sorry.
Yep. Nah, yeah.
You took 27 damage.
Holy!
Cold damage. I rolled a bunch of 6s. I'm sorry.
I want you to know that is
Oh,
over
I'm
50%.
I am so sorry. You got
Oh my
that 20.
gosh.
Just 27.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
just
27
27.
cold damage. And then Jared, you take 12 damage.
Okay, that's okay.
And
God.
then Raven, you take 17 damage.
Okay.
And now, Ert, you were up. The snowman that you first attacked is now back to life.
I have a my sword
And
now
there's
just
another
got a black flame on it. Doesn't it do
Yeah.
fire damage. It does.
Does out of curiosity would Earp be able to tell in the heat of the moment the one that got set ablaze by
It did not come back.
Raven? Okay. So then how can I are they all close to each other?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Are they
they're
all within
multiplying.
5 are they all within 5 feet of each other?
3 of them are or 4 of them are within 5 feet. So basically, you now have there's 7 total that are on there now. There's 4 that have lined up behind you in the same positions that those first 4 have spawned.
Okay.
And
Then Captain Ert is going to. My weapon says I can swing in the semicircle, which means I can attack multiple.
Fuck.
And then, so I think that means I can hit. How many can I hit? All of
you can
them?
hit all 4. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Captain Ert's gonna attempt to hit all 4 of them right now. Hopefully I roll good. 15 plus 8 is 22.
For sure hits.
And then, so now I roll. So 2 was my first one. I'm gonna roll again because I got Savage Attacker. 2 again. I don't know how I do that. So 2 plus, what's 2 plus? Oh, I rolled the wrong dice. My bad. It's supposed to be a D10.
Yeah. So this semicircle.
Mm-hmm. Which one's my D10?
How?
You already know.
You're fine. I'm gonna. You're short. It's gonna reach over you. It's fine. It's
He's
fine.
not. He's in a suit. He's in a suit. I already thought about it.
I'm trying to get rid of these things. Okay. 7.
At all costs.
Okay. At all costs. Okay, I got. It's 7 plus.
Did you
5.
roll your
Oh.
1d6?
And you roll your
And plus
1d6.
D6.
Yeah. I swear. Yeah. Plus 6.
So
That was
12,
2.
14. So you take 14 points of damage, Tynox. And
No, but halved.
4
Halved. Because it's 6. If it's in a semicircle, it only does 6. That's what it says.
So half all these ones take 6 damage. So you take 6 damage, Tynox. All of these burst, melt. You hear the scream. And Tynox, you're up after taking 6
Great. Fucking phenomenal.
I'm sorry. It had to be done. But that was pretty cool
you
of
think
me.
I am the bad guy.
Yeah, maybe I am the bad guy. So which 4 did he get? Is there so now
all the ones that were
there's-
right next to you. So now the only ones that are the 3 on the left side that you're aware of.
You're welcome.
I thought there was some behind all of us.
Yeah, so he got those 4 in that circle. So there's 2 on the left side that are behind Show, Raven, and Jared, and then there's 1 that's still on the left side that his spiritual weapon has attacked, and then the one that's melted by the door.
Okay.
I would like to imagine as Ert swung, he started attacking every single one, and the moment it hit Tynox, it just fell sword landed right into it. And
Yeah.
It killed all 4 of them, but hit Tynox, and Tynox just, oh. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Again? This is the
Again?
7th time this week.
Joe was like working on the door and he like looks over at you, he hears the cling and he's just
So,
like
clink.
Typical first mate is always hitting.
Typical. Typical. Yeah. I'm going to run to. There's no enemies by us. There's only more
Only on the left side, yeah.
on the left side. Well, step one, get the fuck away from Urt, because he's.
A menace.
Yeah. So I would probably go in between the Raven and Jared, because that's where they to try to be to try to be the tank for them, and I will.
You tanked my head.
I'm going to tank it.
Are you sure you don't need
Use the
us to
black-
like shield you?
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah. Right. Well, if I can protect the two healers, maybe they'll have pity on me.
I got you,
Kidding.
fam. I got you.
Yeah, we got heals coming.
I'm
We're
gonna
both next
use
up in the turn order, so
cantrip, right? The cantrip for the Black Holy Fire, and just say that instead of like physical punches right now, we're kind of like open palming it.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right. So then we're just gonna swing the Thunder Gauntlets with the Black and Holy Flame. And we're gonna try to fucking blast one of these guys. So we've got a 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Oh, good. 1d8 plus 11 points of damage, and it's the and a d6, which I never fucking keep any of these. Just one. Plus 2, so 13 points of
The
damage.
one that's basically behind Jared and Raven on the left side is the one that you attack.
I want to position myself where there's the most aggression towards me, and I will try to punch whatever's closest to me that makes the most tactical sense. So, like,
Cool.
if
Yeah, in open palm, you burn one of these snowmen alive. You hear it screech, and it melts. There's 2 left that you guys know of. Jared, you're up.
All right. Let's see. I've got my staff of healing. I actually haven't recharged it yet, so it's got. I guess because I've used 5 charges and it regains 1d6 plus 4, it would just get all its charges back.
Staff of Healing.
1d6, yeah, plus 4, yeah, at dawn. So yeah,
It's just back to full charge. I think I'll spend 2. I'll spend 2 to heal Tydox.
Oh yeah, baby.
perfect.
What do
Yep.
I get healed?
Oh right. I guess I have to
Should be-
roll d8.
Yeah,
That's a
d8 plus
D.
5.
Alright, so 2. I spent an extra charge, so it'd be 2d8 plus 5.
Hell yeah.
Oh. Sure, I'll take that.
I could do it.
4. 12.
Nice.
It's a heal.
Hell
Mhm.
yeah. It's better than Urt.
What do you mean? I
This
just
is-
killed
This
4.
is the wrong way.
This is the wrong way.
This is the wrong way.
If those all attacked you, they
Okay.
probably would have killed you that next turn.
Or did backwards healing.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And I did regular healing.
Inverted healing.
And I still got my magic sword. I guess Urt killed, or is the one I attacked before? It's just back up to full.
Yep.
I'll hit it again.
Perfect.
You will?
I'll hit it again
What are you hitting it with?
with my magic
It's a
sword,
weapon.
Magic.
my spooky ghost sword. What was it? I cast it at. Why? Oh. It undid the spell slot there. There we go. So roll for hit. 25.
25 hits.
6.
6 damage. You see again, you slice through its thing. Half of it like collapses into the snow. And then Raven, you're up.
Someone get the other half.
Where are the snowmen at in the turn order? Are they after show?
They're after show, yeah.
Okay.
Technically they're before Urt, but Urt's at the top. So
I
they're first
mean-
in the order.
Based on how hard these suckers hit, I'm tempted to just do more healing. I think I'm gonna.
Look out, Mert.
You don't have to.
Don't have to. Okay.
I just want you to know the function of me. I was pretty fucking low there for a second.
Yeah.
But
Now he's not
a
as slow.
single heal puts me within, fighting stance.
Okay. Well, you and I are both at half health, so that's why I was gonna heal 3 of us. But all right.
If I get crit again, that's just really shit luck, and we'll just have to deal with it.
Sounds good.
It's happened before.
I know.
How many of these snowmen are left right now?
4?
3 that you're aware of.
3 that were right.
Or sorry, two that you're aware of.
2.
Okay.
They're on the far left side.
And one of them is like half.
One of them is half.
Okay. Ish. Or cut in
At
half.
least it's missing half its body, yeah.
It's cut in half.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna Molotov the one that's not at, or that's at full health. Or,
Fully up.
yeah.
Smart.
Ooh, 12.
12 hits.
Okay. All right.
Snowmen, you would think that they don't have a lot of AC.
16 damage.
16. You see that it melts. You hear it screech. And is that your turn?
Yes, that's all I can do.
Joe, you're up.
So show.
I will say, hold on,
He has-
before you go, Show, you notice that some of the snow has fallen down from where you've been punching at it, and the door seems to be able to open a little bit, but it's still not like fully able to open, if that makes sense.
Joe's like, I'm just gonna keep punching this door. He's like, if I punch the snowman, he's just gonna come back. I know when I'm beat. I know, I didn't fight the fire very good. I don't think I'm gonna fight the snow very good either, guys. So I'm just gonna keep on working at this door, okay? So the elements, we don't do well together. Okay, this is your guys' fight. I believe in you.
Didn't
You
you
got
just say
it.
you were warm-blooded? That
I
it
know.
doesn't
Well-
affect you?
My fists don't do anything to them. When I try to punch the fire, nothing happens. And then Show punches the door.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll again. We'll say a 15 to hit.
23 total.
It works.
Yeah. Punch, punch, punch.
What's your damage? When do you
Oh.
forward?
I got 7 total.
Perfect. You see another layer of snow push down even more. It looks like you probably need like 1 or 2 more hits, and you'd be able to fully clear the snow to be able to get in. Which is perfect, because now it's the snowman's turn. 8 more appear even further behind you guys as they
Holy
begin
cow.
to start rolling forward. And they attack all of the people except for Show. Sorry, let me roll. They hit Raven. They hit Tydox. They miss Urt. And they crit.
Crazy.
They crit Jared.
Oh!
And this crit is a lot worse than Tydox's crit.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of armor.
So I'll start with Ravens. Raven, they take 14 cold damage to you. Then Tydox, they take 18 cold damage to you. And don't worry, Jared, I rolled really low for you.
Or me?
Uh,
You
yeah,
shouldn't have.
they do 21 damage to you,
Oh,
Oh.
my god.
which is really low. It's a 4d6 every time they hit you guys. And it's multiple at this point that are just like stabbing you with their frozen tree
Oh.
branches.
Damn.
It is safe to assume at this point that multiple of them will continue to respond every time until you guys get inside. Just so you know.
Hit the
That's what I was
door.
thinking.
Ert,
Yeah.
Hit
you
the
are up.
door.
Yeah, I was.
It's
Ert's
a
gonna ignore the
exponential
door.
number.
No.
There are now 9 on the board.
Holy cow.
Are we? What's our positioning look like?
Ert is on the far right side, shows by the door. Raven, you and Tydox are on the left side behind Show, and then Jared is behind you, Tydox. So it's like basically you 4 in a line, and then Ert's over off on the right.
Okay.
And these guys have surrounded you. Also, some of them are throwing snowballs at you. So it's kind of like a multi-hit. That's why also the damage is a lot too, is because you're getting hit by multiple of them at the same time.
I guess at this
And the
point.
damage is exponentially going up.
Yeah, we just see that.
I rolled really low for Jared. I'm gonna be honest, and he got crit, so his was doubled.
Yeah.
You know,
And 21
just
is
so you know.
crazy.
Yeah.
I guess at this point, I don't know how close I am to the door, but Captain Ert, seeing this, would probably try and run straight to the door and try to bust it open with Show.
Okay.
And then,
You can roll to attack as well, and your sword is on fire still. So
do I roll
Mm-hmm.
to hit the door?
Yep.
Okay. If I miss the door, I'm gonna be pissed.
So is Tydox.
Yeah. 11. Is that hit or miss?
11 misses the door.
That's
You-
rough.
Just have a barn if you
Oh wait,
wanted
wait! I get 2 attacks per turn.
Savage attack.
I get 2 attack.
to. You
Is
just
this
want
the
to hear
building?
a first
Blessed. I got a 17 plus 25, so I hit it.
17
no.
does hit.
I think my math is wrong, but regardless, I hit it.
Who cares?
Yeah, you
And
do
then-
hit the door. Yeah, and it's on fire. It melts the rest of the snow, regardless of how much damage you do, because it's not very much left.
Okay.
And you pave a way. You notice when you carve through this door, you've cut through wood before, that this material is not wood. It is some sort of what amounts to like a cookie.
Oh,
It's the consistency of like a cookie as you
like it's
carve
like a
through it.
lightsaber, like in when they're using the lightsabers to cut through the
To
steel.
cut
That's
through
how it
the
looks.
steel. Yeah. Yeah, you cut through this and it feels weird. You see that the char goes on the cookie.
We smells like caramelized sugar. In our
Yeah,
noses.
it very smells like sugary treats. The door is now technically open. The house itself begins to catch on fire.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
And then, that's your attack. You certainly have some movement still. Otherwise, it's Tydox's turn.
I don't know if I can. How far away is everyone from me?
They're all piled up right next to you, basically.
As a bonus, I don't. Shoot, I don't know how everyone's health is. Is anybody below half health?
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of us.
Yeah,
A lot of them
As-
are-
but we have 2 healers.
Yeah.
That's true. I
If,
could
if
just hold off
you could
because
do
it's your
something
guys'
more
turn,
useful.
right?
Why don't you just walk inside?
Yeah.
Does that
Why
count
don't
as
you
bonus
just
action?
go in, Captain Ert?
Just,
Oh, he.
then I'll just walk in. Just cut in and walk in.
All right.
It's good. All right, fine. You guys are
Um,
on your own then.
We'll pause where you're at as you walk in. I'll describe what you see when you get in there. Tydox, you're up. Door is open.
how
Snowmen are behind you, and they are bloodthirsty.
they are bloodthirsty, and the building's on fire.
And the
And the
building
building's on
has
fire.
begun to catch on fire. It's not fully on fire, but it is.
It's
No, not again.
Also, a material that may not be as flammable as you think, but it is definitely has caught on fire.
so. If I was to, I'm asking you some spacing questions because I have a few things that are roughly a 15-foot cube. Would there be?
The snow people would all be within 15 feet.
Great. So I am going to full action. Maybe one. Yeah. Would they all be within 10 feet or 15 feet?
15, you would get all of them. 10 feet, you would get about 3/4 of them.
15 it is. Yeah, I'm gonna use Thunder Wave. Blast all of them.
Blast.
All right.
Blasted. It's a Constitution save of 16.
They all fail. So
It's-
what you basically see, you roll the damage.
Fuck yeah. 2. That's not it.
They have a very low constitution, I'll tell you that.
Good.
Considering a
Alright.
6 kills them or drops
right?
them down.
Oh shit. 14.
Thunder damage. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, you see a reverberation of them basically hit all 15 of them, and they sink into a pile. But you don't hear any screeching.
Okay. Not ideal. And that's all the time we could buy. We all need to get inside.
You have delayed them a little bit.
Maybe.
Jared.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
moving. Yeah,
Moving
I'm
in as
also
well.
trying to move inside. Yeah.
Perfect. Sweet. Jared, you are up, brother.
All right. Well, Jared's not gonna stay and fight this fight, but I will do a mass cure wounds with the magic
fuck
staff.
yeah.
I assume Tydox is still in range.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like 60 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a big old radius, so he's good there. Yes, that.
Is Erd in
What is that?
range?
That is
Yeah.
3d8 plus 5, so we're gonna roll that again. That's a 2. That's a 3.
5,
That's a 7. Alright, so that's 12.
17.
And then 12 plus 13. So it's 18, because I rolled. Oh, wait, no, that's 3d8, so it's 17, yeah.
17 to all 3 of you guys.
Blast.
Oh, wait, it's multiple of us?
What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a
I can
boss.
up to 6.
Why did we ever hate on this guy?
And Jared, that also goes to you as well.
I was wondering, yeah. So I need it. I need it.
Blessed.
Alright.
He healed you because he needed heals. Don't ever think Jared did something for other people.
He's like, you guys just unfortunately got caught in the crossfire.
Jared, do you run inside as well?
Yeah, I'm running inside.
He's like, run
Perfect.
in.
You get in there, and then Raven, you are up.
If I use... so how many targets, like, do I see? Because I know you said they're all piles on. Are they still, like, 8
Bless you.
targetable snowmen?
Yeah, for sure. But you notice there's 8 more that are right there, basically, that are still like, you see their faces, they're trying to like come back together.
Okay, because basically I want to use Fairy Toast Nightmares, which is any targets within 30 feet, if they fail a wisdom saving throw, they are frightened for a minute. So basically to buy us more time. So I'm going to essentially cast Fairy Toast on all of us. So
Fairy toast, fairy toast.
it's like an anime moment. We all like have a mug, and it just like the camera swirls around us, and then just
We just toasted it up.
yeah.
I
We did it! Yeah!
love that.
We got it.
And when you jump in the air
So-
and do like a little kick.
Yeah, so they
Um,
need to survive a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. The duration of this spell is a minute long, or it's a minute long casting time
Mhm.
for this spell. So each round of combat is 6 seconds.
Ooh.
So I will tell you that you begin to do this, okay? Because it'll probably be a minute after this next turn, anyways. But you begin to do this, and the duration of this turn is 8 hours. So you'll have 8 hours, basically, of them being frightened and can't come closer to you guys.
Amazing.
So I will say, yes, it works. They may still move within this time while you're beginning to like get the drinks ready to pour everybody. Like, you know, it is an anime moment where you're like pouring drinks for everybody. Like, hey guys, drink this. You know, it's just gonna take you a second.
Oh, I
it's
see.
probably-
I didn't notice the
Yeah.
casting time. I get. All right, that makes sense.
If you want to change what you want to do, I'll let you, but you can certainly do that. It will probably be a minute after, anyways, based off of what happens after.
Events.
Yeah, based off the events. This is pretty much the end of this round of combat, I will say.
Okay.
So don't feel like you have to, burn any more spell slots on things. But that's a good one because it does last for a while.
It will
Guys
keep
don't
them
last
away
long.
from you for 8 hours, which is like a good thing to do. But
Especially
if you
knowing
want
that
to,
A, we don't know what's inside this cabin, and B, we might have to eventually leave said cabin where
Yeah.
Snowman exists.
Because it's kind of
we'll
on
just stay
fire.
here
'Cause
forever.
That's also our MO. Every building we run into, we're like,
Just
well, we're going
burn
to
it
set it on
all.
fire first.
All right, then I'm gonna stick to my guns and do the toast.
cool. Show yours is the last round in this combat, or in this your last turn within this thing. Door is open that you've been punching at.
How on fire are we talking? Like just like a little bit of fire, or like
It's a little tiny bit of fire has begun
I
to
think-
again.
show
Is
like?
this flammable? Who knows?
Mhm.
Have you
Show
ever
I
burned
think wants to put out the fire though. Like he's like I've been in enough burning buildings. I think we've done enough burning buildings. I think let's just try to put this out right now.
That's our
like, you know?
speed run. That's our
Sure.
time trial, though.
And
Sure,
I think
so
he's
what-
just scooping up like snow and trying to like throw it like at it to like melt and like put out the
Yeah.
fires. And
As you're throwing snow, you pick up a bit of the snow person that's like been there, and he's like, "Hey, watch it there!" As you like throw it
As I'm,
into the
just
fire.
yeah.
He's like, "Hey, what you doing?" And then you just toss him. into the fire.
He's like, oops.
Yeah. So you let the fire out. Perfect. The building is no longer on fire. But do you head into the thing? And also, Raven, did you head into the building as well?
Yes. The casting doesn't like pause me
Use
or
some-
something. Okay. Yeah, then I ran in as well.
So he's
I
starting to make
fell in
drinks.
as well.
Perfect. So the snowmen, you see as you guys are like running in, you see that like 16 more snow people come up behind you guys. Is like the next thing. And you see that they begin to start trying to throw snowballs at you guys. Cut open the door. I'll give you guys exactly one action. You can choose who to try to block the door. Or take a bunch of damage as the snow is flying into you at Mach speeds.
I have an idea.
Oh, God.
I was thinking Captain Ursus, he has
Immediately no.
frost. What? He has frost breath. He can just freeze the entire hole back up, right?
Absolutely,
cool.
you can do that.
right, that's dope.
That's
And
cool.
then so
Not
I
gonna
think
lie.
Captain noticing this, he was like, "Move!" And then he moved everyone out of the way, and then use his ice breath to completely seal the hole in the wall.
Seals the hole in the wall.
Shell's like, I just spent so much time getting all that cleared out. You just want to put it right back up.
But then since you see, I guess but I mean, since they're doing all the damage and it's ice, you could probably see all the like.
You can see all the snowballs now
Yeah.
pile up over the frozen door, back
Mhm.
to essentially where Show had started punching the thing.
Hopefully we don't set the building on fire again and get stuck in here like we've done all the other times we've been stuck in the building, and now we don't have a way to escape either, Captain.
Yeah, it's true, but at least they don't have a way to get in.
You
That's
don't
what she
have a
called
way-
the
No,
captain.
but
Yeah.
how many times has this happened?
Takes out pen.
And it didn't seem too hard to cut through that door with your fire sword there. Or that was. So if we really need to get out, I guess we could just cut our way out, man.
I don't know. That sword's pretty nice. I kind of like it, to be honest. Is it still on fire?
As you are like
God.
admiring it, the fire goes away.
No.
And
So
Raven,
cool.
your spell, your drinks are basically ready for everybody to drink.
Well, I made this little hot cocoa combination to keep us warm. So everyone, let's drink to surviving another fight without burning ourselves to the ground.
Elizabeth, who did nothing that
Cheers.
whole combat,
I don't-
is just sitting
Yeah.
there and she's like, appreciate it.
Oh, phenomenal.
I
Mac,
forgot
sorry,
I was
Elizabeth. I could only give this to
I know.
5 members of my party.
I know. I was wondering. Elizabeth is just in the carriage, just hiding still.
I don't know. I don't need it.
In the office when like Dwight is like Jesus, and it's like it's like
Yeah,
Jesus.
So there is more. Fritos, I know you have a time constraint. There is probably one more combat or fight or thing that's going to happen. Do you guys want to go on? Do you guys want to save it for next time?
If we have time, I'd like to do it, but I don't know how everyone else is doing.
We're almost coming up to 3 hours of recording time. So
Yeah.
Is that about? Wow, damn, time flies.
yeah. So for me, I might have to split off.
So we'll go another 14 minutes. I'll set up the next scene and then we'll pretty much the next one, we'll push it to the next thing if you guys are cool with that.
Reasonable.
Sounds good.
So as you guys are walking into this, you guys are licking your wounds, drinking your hot cocoa.
Tasty.
You guys have this ominous, eerie feeling of what is this place? You guys recognize, especially Hydox recognizes like a tinkerer's like place. Like it's a place that is like very reminiscent of Wilhelm's Manor. Very much like a tinkerer, somebody who's been here who's like building. You notice that there's a lot of like what amounts to like toys scattered about this whole area. These look unfinished. Some other things you notice in this place. You notice there are blood marks kind of dragging through this area that kind of lead into another bigger, opener area. As you guys have like been drinking and sitting in, you're like, oh man, this is nice. You also notice in the darkness a lot of, or you begin to be, filled with the smell. Everything was like sweet and, candy and tasty. It smells decrepit and very death-like. And it's very poignant in your guys' things. Like something has been here and has died for a while. And you, as you guys are wondering, you hear, you start to hear noises.
What kind of noises?
Go ahead and roll me a like survival or like a
Is it light?
history. It's like pitch black in here.
I'm gonna light up
Like,
my torch.
okay.
I got a 9.
With a 9, you don't recognize, but you hear clawing, you hear panting, and you hear some sort of like low growl.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Or you light your torch, and as soon as you light your torch up, okay, you get to see more of the room. Over on one of the corners, you see a pile of dead bodies, all of which are elves.
Bruh.
You said a history?
Safe.
I told Shell that they could roll a history. If you want to roll a history and you can certainly roll a history check, and I'll tell you kind of
I would
some
like to roll a
lore.
history check just to see if maybe Captain Erd knows anything about this. Probably not, as with Sean. 10, 14, 14.
With a 14, you heard of an old toy maker that would bring about toys to local villages at some point, and he would, share these toys amongst children, and that he had a remote village somewhere off the coast of Andrial, in somewhere in the Riverlands, and this toy maker was this older gentleman, and he was very affluenced in the elven culture. Another big part of his character was that rumors of this toy maker was that he's been doing this for hundreds of years, if not thousands.
So then Captain Erd hearing this.
Sorry, you recognize it as a children's story.
Captain Erd
Uh,
recognizing this.
Yeah, you recognize this as a children's story, not necessarily like a piece of fact, you know.
Can unless you want to follow up on that.
I was gonna. I just growl.
Fine. That's
No,
a great thing to do.
yeah, just Captain Erd recognizes this, be like, I heard
Toys.
a toys. And I heard a tell the
Toy.
group that there was a story, and it kind of went like this. It was the
And it
night
goes
before
like
Elfmas. When all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that Saint McNicholas would be there. I'm wondering if this might be Saint McNicholas's shop.
A lot of ad libbing.
Definitely
No,
not
either.
Christmas in this world, but
Saint
Certainly.
Mechales.
I want
Blaze.
so,
Blade of Rudolph.
Pedux would have gone to some of the toys, and if allowed, roll an investigation check.
Mhm.
If you're interested in that, all right, to see kind of the craftsmanship and what was the goal of making all of these toys. Are they for an ominous purpose? And he got a 23.
with a 23, you notice these toys, one, are very unfinished. It looks like someone has put a lot of work into them, that they are like beautifully designed, like handcrafted, like somebody like had passion and care for them. But every single one of these toys feels unfinished. The big part of it, especially being someone who's like a tinkerer, you feel as though this like toy has no passion, has no purpose, has no like, that final oomph that makes the mechanism something, right? You feel as though these toys are missing that vital part of like purpose in these things. Some of them are missing like eyes, for example. Some of them are missing like like a mouth, or like these like very like small little details where it clearly has passion into these toys, but for whatever reason, they are all missing like the vital parts of them that like should make them work in a proper way. And as you're like tinkering around and looking at them, they all like feel lifeless.
Um, so these crafts don't seem to be done. A lot of these things are semblance of toys, but some of those vital pieces aren't there. Do I feel any like ma- almost like arcane magic or anything about them, or are they all just dead pieces of material?
I roll an Arcana.
Ooh, fuck yeah. I haven't rolled one of these in a long time. Oh yeah. So we've got 11 plus 19 and 8. 11 plus 8, 19.
Every single one of these has arcane symbols on them, as if they should be put together. Again, magic is scarce in this world, and so like some of the like things that you're looking at for it, like you don't really understand arcane symbols as much, but they have some sort of like on switch that you're like waiting to like click or use that is needs to be imbued with magic is your like best assumption, that it needs to like it's some sort of transmutation sort of like school that would need like these things are waiting for life to be put inside it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I just wanted to have you say it. um, the the toys themselves seem to be somewhat functional, but the the part that's missing is the the spirit or the life. Um, this is this is very similar to Wilhelm when he stole life from others to make his own creations. This is a terrible place. Tydox is now like shook.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be here again.
Shows like, the toys are what made you see that, not the pile of dead bodies in the corner. Yeah, he's just like, okay.
Yeah, the inventions that have no life and are not the lifeless bodies that are
Yeah.
in the corner.
This is how we
Dang,
got
this
idea
is
that.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The killing is one thing, but torture and extraction is so much darker.
And as you think of this darkness, in the distance, you see a light flicker on and off. Someone knows that you are there.
It's Nosferatu.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this last adventure, this creepy time before Christmas. We love you guys. Happy Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, wherever you guys want to celebrate. And we'll see you in a few weeks. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a wonderful time.